Launch ready for WWE Aftershock in 3, 2, 1. World Wrestling Entertainment Discussion is live. Cue host Owen Finch.
Alright, welcome to WWE Aftershock, everyone. Let's hope this picked this up. I'm on with the Birdman Finch, and I'm here with...
Chris.
Alright, finally picked it up. Well, say it again, just in case.
Hey, it's Chris, everyone. Chris. Here we go.
Yeah, we tried to do this like 2 times, and we did a sound check and everything. Chris was audible, but for some reason, when Chris goes to, like, introduce himself, like the only time, like, I couldn't hear him on my end or anything. So, like, just,
Finally.
Huh?
Finally.
Yeah, so we finally got Chris finally got to say who he was. Like, I thought at first he was just, like, standing there, like, staring off into space or just completely ignoring me, and not introducing himself. Like, the first take, I was like...
Had to introduce me.
Yeah, the first take, I had to be like, you gonna just sit there or what? I thought, like, he was, like, playing a gimmick or something, but no, it was just technology being a bitch, I guess. So, yeah, we're back doing Aftershock. We, I had a New Year's resolution. We were going to try to do more Aftershocks, but the snow has prevented that because I think every time we've gone to do the show, I think we've had to do snow removal on that Wednesday. And then, and then we just haven't been available the other days. And then, like, I think we were going to do it Monday, but I went to the movies Monday. So everyone's schedules just got messed up. So we're finally doing Aftershock. We're going to cover everything that's been kind of going on in wrestling. Some stuff is going to be since before the Rumble, and some stuff is going to be, like, pretty recent. So, we're going to get this going. And Chris, you can actually participate in, like, most of the things we're going to talk about, because you watch Evolve now, with the Evolve section. You're not just going to be, like, sitting there. Actually, did you watch the most recent episode of Evolve? I think you did, right?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it was last week.
Year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just going to kind of, go back to the method we've been doing, just kind of talk about things that have been going on in the world of wrestling, mainly WWE, because it's a WWE Aftershock. There'll be some TNA inclusion, because that's the partnership. But, yeah, let's get into it. We're going to give our thoughts on the Royal Rumble first, because that's the most recent PLE that's happened. Chris has the notes up for that. It's gonna be. We're gonna keep it brief. We're not gonna do a full breakdown, considering the fact that we have other stuff to talk about. So, Chris, why don't you kind of get us? I assume you didn't watch the countdown show or kickoff or anything. So, I assume I have to start that, right?
I didn't watch any of it.
All right, I'll get that going.
Any of the countdown shit.
Let me find that. We'll start with the kickoff that aired Friday. Before the Rumble. The host of that was Michael Cole. And CM Punk came out to do his promo. This was mainly for him to announce that he was going to be the cover star of 2K26. But he's like the actual cover star, right? Because I know they've announced like several covers. There's like the Attitude Era version. There's the Triple H version. And there's some other version, right? But like he's like the actual cover star if you like get the game like at the store or whatever. Kind of sad for me this year because I can't get 2K this year because I don't have the most updated systems. They're finally everyone has to get with the program now, including me, and get the new updated systems because all the video games that have come out recently have only been on like the next gen systems, which is like the PS5s, the Nintendo Switch 2, and Xbox X series. So I have to get myself one of those, and I think I've decided it's going to be PS5, because you have PS5, we can play games together, and then my cousin has PS5, we can play games together, so first time I'm going to be going to the PlayStation community. Usually I've been in Xbox or the Nintendo community, so that will be exciting. And this year, the video game is all about Punk. The showcase is going to be built around him. I know it's not going to be like normal, too, there's gonna be like a version of like you could see like what a universe would have looked like if he didn't leave WWE and everything like that, which sounds pretty cool. But yeah, how do you feel about CM Punk being the cover star? That's pretty exciting.
I love it. I can't wait to play it. I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered the Attitude Era version. I just finished paying it off recently, so that was fun.
What do you mean paying it off? You didn't buy it all at once?
No, I bought it all at once. I was just paying it off my credit card at different portions.
I got it.
But yeah, that was about $130
Nice.
for the pre-order. It's this game is different this year. They're doing like battle passes, and there's no more DLC, and it's all confusing, and it's way over my head.
Yeah. So, be interesting to see what happens with it. And then there was really no reason for CM Punk to go to Saudi. He didn't have a match or anything like that. Like he was on the panel for the Rumble, but it's kind of a waste of his time, and like if he wasn't gonna have a match or anything like that. Like if they it was because Raw wasn't in Saudi. It was in like it was stateside. I forget where it was because this week's was in like not in Atlanta, I think, but I forget what Raw was like that the following week, and then so I don't really understand why Punk went to Saudi. It was so weird too because a lot of the interviews they like did like the media tours, like he was on them, but he didn't have a match or anything like that. So it was just kind of awkward for him to be there. But whatever. Kind of cool he goes there now, because he didn't go there before. So that's pretty cool. Even though it was as you talk about later, him going there ended up being a contention in a year-end awards thing because for like worst PR moment of the year, like him going there apparently. So that's fun. But then Farouk Tawald made an appearance. He's been training at the Performance Center recently. I think he signed a contract or something, so he was there to kind of get the the Saudi crowd kind of into the show. And then the Vision made an appearance. They kind of talked about how they're all going to win the Rumble, but that Blonde Breaker's going to win the Rumble because they put that stipulation in there where, they were all going to help Blonde Breaker win. But Michael Cole kind of asked, like, well, what's going to happen if, Blonde gets eliminated early or, it comes down to all you four. And then they didn't really answer. They just kind of left, so... and then Jey Uso made an appearance. He just kind of did his yeet thing and talked about how he was going to win the Rumble. Judgment Day, I think it was just like Liv, Roxanne, and Raquel showed up. They talked about they're all going to win. Or one of them's going to win anyways, not all of them, because they all can't win at once. So, and then Gunther showed up and said he was going to retire AJ Styles. So, the kickoff was fine. Nice. I always enjoy like the kickoff shows. They're always pretty fun to go to. And then we had the countdown show. The panel was Big E, Wade Barrett, Michael Cole, CM Punk, Jackie Redmond, and Peter Rosenberg. We got a little cold open, kind of showing what was going on there. Jey Uso got interviewed, saying he's going to win the Rumble. Adam Pearce tried to get interviewed. He was on the panel and everything like that. Paul Heyman came out, and he was upset that Braun Breaker was number 2 in the Royal Rumble match. And... obviously, Paul Heyman thought that Adam Pearce, set that up, but obviously Adam Pearce had to explain to him that the Rumble's random. This was really funny, because CM Punk kept, poking fun at, Paul Heyman, being like, look, you've been in the business for years, you should know how the Rumble works, and everything like that, which is really funny. So, Adam Pearce really didn't get to talk about anything, because he got interrupted by Heyman, instantly, and everything like that. And then Peter Rosenberg checked in. He kind of showed everyone what Gorillas looked like backstage and everything. The set for the Rumble looked awesome. We got to see it on SmackDown before this, and then we saw it here. So, and then Shawn Michaels did an interview back at the Performance Center, kind of talking about his experiences in the Rumble. Javon Evans did an interview talking about how excited he was to be in the Rumble. And then that Saudi guy I mentioned before was there. I forget his name. Even though I have it in front of me, but I'm not going to try to pronounce it again. Big E did his 5 count to kind of talk about who has been impressing him the most going into the Rumble. Charlotte Flair got interviewed. I kind of missed most of the countdown show following this because I was trying to order food. And I guess I could tell you this now, Chris. I was going to tell you this originally, but then we haven't done the show in a while and everything like that. I was trying to order Domino's, but it was... huge disaster because my friends were gonna go get the food and then bring it over. And I was gonna order Domino's. I think I told you this. You have apparently you can't just order Domino's. Like they said the card that's on payment like has to be shown to like get the food and everything like that. So I couldn't do Domino's, and then I was gonna do another restaurant called A Slice Above, which is in Pembroke, and it was gonna be way overpriced. So then I just ended up doing a place called Dimitri's where I got all the same stuff. And then so that was a disaster. I spent like a half hour trying to do that, so I missed Charlotte Flair's interview. I didn't really catch anything she said. And then Sami Zayn got an interview. That was fun. And then Drew McIntyre got an interview, and that was kind of sad. He was kind of being rude. So, so the countdown and kickoff was fine. You know, no need for the countdown to be 2 hours, but we've been talking about that once. It's like last year, Chris. Hey, at least it's not as bad as Remember Backlash 2024, where like they ran out of things to fucking talk about, so they had to fucking kill time by like showing like the WWE like video games like documentary about going through that when like it didn't even like fit the topic or anything like that. They had to just fucking they were just fucking trying to kill time for like an hour because they only had like one match left to like talk about. So at least we didn't have that this time, so that's good.
So
now you can take us through the Rumble.
Sweet. Okay. So go back here. Here we go. Okay. So the Royal Rumble was in Saudi Arabia this year. In case if you didn't know, you probably did know that. Because if you were watching the show, and you'd be very surprised because the show looked fucking dead. And they also said they're never going back. Which is I mean, it's probably a good idea that they didn't, just because of the fact that no one really got a reaction when they came out, which is surprising. So the first match on the show was Gunther versus AJ in a...
No, it was the Women's Rumble.
Was it the... Oh, yeah, because, that came first.
Yeah.
All right, because it was sandwiched in between.
That's right.
So Charlotte came out and she represented, what was the show again? SmackDown! Ha ha ha! See, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd do it, but you're doing it.
And they did a little ha 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 funny, ha ha funny. Alexa came out second. She was representing what? SmackDown.
There you go.
Because it wouldn't make any sense if one was representing the other brand and the other wasn't. The first four were SmackDown, which was pretty interesting. It was Canada James was third, and then Nia Jax was fourth.
Yep.
Ivy Nile, representing Raw, was fifth. And then, not really a surprise, because they really didn't have any. But like a, oh, cool moment. Lola Vice was this her first Rumble? Or is this her second?
I think her first, because I don't remember her being in last year's. And then she wouldn't have been in 2024 because she was too new. And then again, that didn't stop him from putting Jada Parker in last year. So it was her first. I just went off on a... I obviously went in another place. You just wait for me to say, oh, was this a first? And I didn't just give you like a yes or no answer. I fucking gave you an open answer. It's a long explanation.
She was coming up from NXT. It wasn't a call-up. It was just she was just an entrant that they needed because they couldn't get any of the legends. I can guarantee if this was stateside, there would have been so many more. There would have been more legends.
Yeah, for sure.
And then representing SmackDown at 7 and 8 were Candice LeRae and Jordan Grace. Number 9 was Becky Lynch from Raw. And then 10 was Sol Ruka from NXT. I think this was her second, right?
I think this was her first.
Was this her first?
Yeah, I don't remember her being in one before. I will say the NXT surprises were kind of given away because obviously the thing that sucked about it was I don't know why they did this. Like NXT decided to do fucking house shows like the week of the Rumble, like stateside. So like if you wanted like an Ethan Page or like a Ricky Saints in the men's Rumble, you weren't gonna get that because they were on the fucking NXT. I don't know why they did that way. Like that didn't make any sense. Why not do that? Why would you do house show? It's like last year when they did like the media tours for Saudi for the Rumble, they fucking had like all the wrestlers go out there like the week of Cena's retirement. So like Randy Orton couldn't even go to Cena's last match because he had to go to the Saudi like the way the WWE has scheduled some of their house shows and like the media things like doesn't even make like why did NXT schedule house shows the same week as the Rumble? Because then like that limited like some of the NXT surprises even.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this was Soul's first Rumble because I don't remember her being in one before. She wasn't 2024 because I would have remembered seeing the Soul Snap. I think it was because my friends who only watch like the PLEs and stuff, they don't watch NXT. I think they would have remembered like seeing the Soul Snatcher like before. You know, that was the first time they've seen it. So.
Yeah, so that was good. And then representing Raw was Roxanne Perez, Maxime Dupree, and Natty. And number 14 was the eventual winner, which was Liv Morgan representing Raw.
We'll get to that.
She still has a big decision to make.
Yep.
And then at 15 and 16 were from SmackDown, Lash Legends, Lena Vega. Number 17 was Raquel Rodriguez representing Raw. And then 18 and 19 were from SmackDown. It was Chelsea Green and Julia.
Yep.
20, 21, 22, and 23 where Io Sky was 20. Asuka was 21, Rhea Ripley was 22, and Bayley was 23. Number 24 from NXT was JC Jean. Number 25 representing Raw was Nikki Bella. Number 26 representing Raw was Lyra Valkyria. Number 27 representing NXT was Kalani Jordan. Number 28 representing Raw was Kairi Sane. Number 29 representing the Hall of Fame was Brie Bella. And number 30 representing SmackDown, Tiffany Stratton. I thought overall this Women's Rumble was pretty good. Obviously lacking surprises, Brie Bella being the only real true surprise.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, nothing came of it because they've been invisible since then.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, overall, pretty good Rumble. Some spots I liked. I missed the beginning because I wasn't very prepared. Because once the food came, I forgot to get the napkins, so I had to get those. I forgot to get cups for people, so it was a lot of me running around. I think I missed, like, Alexa's elimination. But then, after that, because I missed, like, the first few, like, eliminations. I missed, like, I didn't even realize Kiana James was in the match, like, as long as she was, because I thought I just missed her elimination. But then...
it was like 27 minutes.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. A lot of her just laying around and everything like that, though, too. So, but yeah, overall, a pretty decent Rumble. No AJ Lee appearance, which was pretty disappointed. I kind of figured that wasn't going to happen once Becky got eliminated because I think Natty eliminated Becky. So like, I'm like, okay, so we're probably not getting AJ Lee because like if Becky's not in the match, they would have left Becky in if AJ Lee was going to show up, and then obviously if AJ Lee hasn't. This AJ Lee return just been really bizarre because, like, there's been shows, like, she should have totally been at that, like, she hasn't been at. Like, the Stranger Things Raw we talked about, she should have been at the Rumble. And now she's, like, randomly shown back up again. This AJ Lee return just been bizarre, in my opinion. But yeah, So Luca had a good performance. I liked that. Liked... Brie Bella's appearance was very disappointing. I kicked myself too because when I predicted surprise returns, I even had Brie Bella in mind, but then I didn't say it in the video because I also didn't want it to happen. And once Nikki came out, I was like, okay, so Brie probably is gonna come out then. I feel like too, not a big surprise for me because you had to hear a shitty like Brie mode theme song, which sucked. So keep that in the grave. Io Sky looked good. We got like a Io Sky, Asuka, like Julia face off. They did a funny appearance, where Kairi Sane accidentally eliminated Asuka, so they're gonna get the ball rolling in that. Last Legend looked good. I think she got like the most eliminations like in the match. She eliminated a lot of people, which is good. And then so Luca got to look impressive. She got like a Kofi moment where she like saved herself from elimination, which was pretty cool. She lasted to like the last three too. It was like Ruka, Tiffany Stratton, and Liv Morgan. Fortunately, the winner was very disappointing. You know, Liv Morgan won the Rumble. This is just stupid. You know, not a big fan of this. I don't know why Triple H has a massive obsession with pushing Liv Morgan, and it's been a thing. Since probably she came back in 2024, because that's when she started like the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour and everything like that. And her push hasn't been very good ever since it started, and it's been worse since she's been back. Liv Morgan winning the Women's Rumble was very disappointing. They didn't really have a lot of options, I guess, because they weren't going to give it to Charlotte because she's doing the tag team thing with Alexa. They weren't going to give it to Rhea Ripley or Io Sky, since they want them in the tag division right now. So Ruko obviously is still going to be doing stuff with NXT, so it wouldn't really make sense for her to win it. Tiffany Stratton, they should have just given it to at this point, because that would have been fine. You know, she could face Jake Argo, and then we would have been avoided all this. But whatever. Women's Royal Rumble was pretty good. If I watched this match by myself, I probably would have hated this match, because again, we got no surprises and it was just kind of whatever. I thought the Men's Rumble match was insanely better, because we actually had surprises and everything. But the Women's Royal Rumble was just kind of whatever. If I had to give it like a star rating, I'll probably just give it like 3 stars. And that's pretty low for like a Royal Rumble match. Just you want that to be like typically a 4-star rating is like what you want that for. But the Women's Rumble was just kind of pretty lackluster, I thought, this year.
3.5. It's not. It wasn't the worst, but people watch these shows, casuals and people who don't watch wrestling but like want to watch the big shows, the big four, and it just, the woman's side of it definitely felt like, we're in Saudi Arabia, no one's gonna really care.
Yeah.
Just bring up some NXT people and call it a day.
And it was pretty obvious on the NXT, like I said, the NXT side of things, because I think most of the women in NXT weren't at NXT that week, so it was kind of obvious who was gonna be in the Women's Rumble, because Sol wasn't in NXT that week, Lola wasn't in NXT that week, and they were being pushed pretty heavily, going into the next few NXT shows. And again, they weren't advertised. That's why NXT did themselves a disservice doing the house shows, because then they weren't advertised for the house show, so you figured okay, so they're gonna be in the Rumble. So again, it gave away who was going to be the surprises on the NXT side of things.
So stupid, but they kind of hamstrung themselves.
Yeah, so whatever. Let's continue to talk about the Rumble.
We get to that career-threatening match. It's AJ Styles versus Gunther, and AJ agreed to put his career on the line because he was kind of pissed off at the way that Gunther had been treating John Cena after he retired him a couple of months ago in November December Saturday's main event. And he wanted to face him, and he wanted to beat him, and it didn't happen. Gunther beat AJ, and AJ retired from in-ring competition. It came out that they couldn't agree to a contract, so AJ agreed to lose the match and end his career. And it seems like it's a legitimate retirement. He doesn't have any interest in wrestling anymore. So, and things can change, but we'll see. He seems pretty. He's old school. He's done.
Yeah, I like this match a lot. I thought this was great stuff. I'll probably give it 4.5 stars. I really loved it. The pass out finish I thought was done pretty well. Gunther just killed him at the end, which I thought was a very AJ Styles thing. This career killer that Gunther's doing, I'm pretty interested in. He's retired Goldberg, retired Cena, retired AJ. I think what makes this disappointing in a good way is obviously we were thinking we were gonna get kind of like obviously less so of a Cena one, but like it's some type of like we were gonna get like one more WrestleMania from AJ, one more SummerSlam, one more Survivor Series, and we get all the dream matches again. But then obviously they didn't come to be because then he kind of did all of them building up to the Rumble. He did Shinsuke at Saturday Night's Main Event. They finally got to have the match they've always wanted to have in WWE. And then we got the match with Punk at Raw, and then we got the match here. And yeah, just kind of sad, the span of 2 months, John Cena and AJ Styles, two big wrestling figures, in the 2000s, and then even in the 2010s, are pretty much retired now in the span of a month. Not even a month, right? Because I guess a month, because the Rumble was like the end of January, but it's insane. And relatively, a lot of people's retired. Like I think a thing came out the other day. A lot of big wrestling figures retired, because Fandango, JDC retired shortly before this, and then Hiroshi Tanahashi retired, and I think someone else a big name in Mexico retired. So it's insane. All the it seems to be the year of retirements so far. And I like that Gunther's just gonna rule the joint. I think what make this gimmick better is, again, this time around we thought we were gonna get a big long retirement, but then that didn't happen with Gunther ended in the AJ Styles retirement tour early. I think he's done. I think a lot of people are thinking that because then he didn't take his gloves off and then when he left them on, so that made people think okay, maybe he's not retiring. And then the Stephanie McMahon podcast came out shortly after that, and then he kind of left it a little open ended. But I don't think he's going to TNA or AEW to wrestle. If I had to say if one was gonna happen, I would definitely think TNA would be the more would definitely be more so the option he would go to, just because he started in TNA or made his name big in TNA. He's known with the TNA name. I could see him retiring there, having one more match, but I think he's done. And I think this was the perfect way for him to go out, with this Gunther match here and everything like that. So but yeah, I give it 4.5 stars. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I give it 4.5 stars also too. I thought it was a great match. And AJ wanted to retire. That was just up to him. He said it on Chris Van Fleet's podcast. He didn't want to be wrestling at 50. So all those people fantasizing and playing with themselves over the prospect of AJ going to AEW, keep it in your pants.
I also just don't think it makes any sense. What is it? Because, what is AEW going to do? Are they going to sign him knowing he's not going to wrestle for them for very long? That doesn't make any sense for AEW to even, do that. Why waste... Not that AJ Styles would be a waste of money, but why waste money on someone that's not going to be wrestling for your company, long term and everything like that type of thing? Unless they would do, by appearance, basis. But I don't think Tony... As we know from Tony, I don't think he does fucking by appearance basis. He tries to fucking sign the next... He tries to sign the next prospect the second he can and everything like that. Locks them the fuck down.
He does it at first, and then after a couple of appearances, he usually signs them.
Yeah. I don't even think he really has much of a connection with anyone in AEW that he could even go wrestle. I don't think I don't think he has a history with really anybody, right? I feel a long history he had I know he doesn't have that in TNA either, but TNA was also his home, so that's why I could see him having one more match there. But AEW, there's no real connection that he has with anyone that's wrestling. I guess Jay Lethal, but they don't fucking push Jay Lethal, so what? He's gonna come back and have a match with Jay Lethal, who I don't think he's been on I don't even think he's been on television since I don't know what, the first Continental Classic where he lost every match, so that doesn't make sense. Yeah. We thought that was a big.
It's just me. It just doesn't. It just he doesn't fit there.
Yeah. So
So it just for me,
I feel like too he's gonna have to
it just
like.
doesn't matter.
I don't think he's gonna want at this age too. He's not gonna want to do that fucking flippy fucking style that he's do. That he wants to fucking slow down, and I don't know. He's, with AEW, he'll have to fucking do all the types of flippy shit and everything. Yeah, I don't think he wants. I don't think he has any interest in that.
That he stopped doing.
Yeah.
Uh, the shooting styles press, which is the shooting star press, or the phenomenon, which is the moonsault back DDT thing that he does, the springboard moonsault land on the feet back DDT thing, or
Yeah.
the spinal tap, which he hasn't done in fucking 25 years.
Yeah.
It feels like it's probably more like 10 or even longer than that. I don't think he's ever done it in WWE.
Not that I can think of.
Probably 15 years ago now that he's done the spinal tap.
I think
and that was his original finisher
yeah,
too.
I think the last time I remember him doing that was like when he won the Bound for Glory series, like back in 2013. So
He hasn't done it forever.
yeah.
And he said, he also said he's also like forgotten how to do it. So it's like how to land and how to because it's a corkscrew.
Yeah. And
It's like almost like it's like Stephanie Vaquer's top rope thing that she does.
Yeah.
But he lands on his back instead. I know Tyler Bates done it a few times.
You mean Ryo?
No, Tyler Bate.
Oh, you're not gonna do this now.
Because Ryo hasn't done it.
That's true. He hasn't.
Tyler Bates done it though.
Oh, which one is he actually? Is he Ryo or Bravo? I always forget.
No, that's Tyler Bate beat done. We got to use our brains here.
But technically, Ryo hasn't done it though. You are right.
Ryo Bravo haven't done it. Whatever the fuck which one he is.
What if he's both? That'd be funny if like one week, they switch gimmicks every week. One's always like Ryo. They always trade. I wonder if you could, because it's not like you'd be able to tell.
Bravo.
Huh?
He's Bravo.
He's Bravo.
Every time I'm like, who's who?
Michael Cole doesn't know either.
Funny too is they covered up his arm with a sleeve, so you can't tell that he has tattoos.
That's right. Yeah.
That's why he wears the sleeve, is because of the tattoo goes up to almost his shoulder.
Yeah. I think he's the one that
Goes up to his bicep.
He's the one that like dances ringside and everything like that too. I think does on occasion.
It's funny.
But yeah, take us through. Let's continue to talk about the Rumble. We just got off on the big tangent there.
Next, we had the final match on the card. That wasn't a multi-man match. It was Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn for the undisputed WWE Championship, and Drew McIntyre ended up retaining his championship. I thought this was a pretty good match. Sami and Drew had a lot of chemistry together. Sami was obviously over because he has been for quite the last few times he's been to Saudi Arabia. Now that he goes, he's massively over in the country, obviously. But Drew ended up winning.
Yeah, I like this match a lot. I give it like 4 stars. They have very good chemistry together. Drew wrecked him at the end too. Hit like a claymore onto him and then like one in the back of his neck. Obviously this continues the story with Sami Zayn that he can't get the job done. I imagine he's winning the world title next year. Maybe in Saudi, which probably is a fitting place for him to win it. He'll be really over. You know what's gonna happen though? He's gonna win the world title and then everyone's gonna hate on it because it seems like maybe not though, because I feel like people started hating on him when like he was feuding with Klaus and everything like that. So maybe like the hate will subside by then. But yeah, this is exactly how it should have went. I do wonder what they're gonna do with Sami though to keep him away from like the world championship for like a year, like over a year at this point, because I imagine he's winning the Rumble next year, and then he's gonna win the world title probably from like a big heel. I don't know who that would be. Logan Paul would be a good shout since he would be he would get a lot of hate and stuff. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I like this match a lot though. I think they had better matches together, but this match like worked extremely well. I'm really into Drew as champion. I think he's done some good work. But and then Sami Zayn with not winning made a lot of sense. Maybe find a way. Maybe Drew would be a good person. Have him be champion. Not saying he has to keep the belt all year next year, but maybe he a big babyface beats him and then he wins it back like towards the fall of next year, so that way Drew could be the champion because that's a nice story because he's never beaten Drew. Or that could be like his first title defense next year. But yeah, this all made a lot of sense. I am wondering how the hell they're gonna keep Sami away from the world title like for like almost a year, since I imagine he's not gonna get that first world title win until Mania next year in Saudi, whatever night it is.
I would think that would be the plan going forward.
Say that again. You cut out there.
I think that would. I do think that would be the plan.
Yeah. What'd you give this as like a star rating?
I give it. I'll give it 4 stars. I thought this is a really, really good like main event match. Even though there's only 2 of them.
Yeah.
It was a great match.
Well, you said main event. Like I'm surprised you said that.
Well, because it was the main event match before the Rumble.
I know, but there's a show out there called Main Event. I'm surprised you said that's a main event match too.
Technically 3 of them on there, so you don't know which one's the main event.
Yeah, you don't know.
Now we get to the men's Rumble, the manly men. Out first was Obafemi, and he at the moment is not affiliated with any brand because he got called up, and Pierce and Aldis are salivating at the prospects of adding him to their roster.
Yes.
But he lasted almost 40 minutes.
Yeah.
He looked like a house out there. He is going to fucking dominate Royal Rumbles for years to come.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, in the nearly 40 minutes that he was in the match, he eliminated 5 people. I think he might surpass Roman's record within the next couple of Rumbles.
He might beat. I think it's Brock's record. Most eliminations. I think Brock has that record at the moment. The 2021.
Yeah. Yeah.
We almost got that Rumble again, actually, in like the first couple entries too.
And then Braun Breaker came out second. Haha, LOL, lol. Thanks for showing up. 10 seconds, baby. Representing Raw after he got stomped by the mystery masked man.
Yep.
Which is still going on right now. Third is representing SmackDown is Solo Sikoa. 4th and 5th representing Raw, Rey Mysterio and Rusev. 6 and 7 representing SmackDown was Matt Cardona and Damian Priest. Number 8 representing Raw was Javon Evans. Number 9, the first kind of surprise, representing AAA, the legend himself, Mr. Iguana.
And the Eska, I guess, too, right? That counts as, I think that's 2 entrances right there.
Like 9.5.
What if Leaska didn't get eliminated? Could Leaska make a claim?
Never really entered.
I guess not, yeah.
It's going to be Curtis Axel.
Yeah, never eliminated.
Number 10 and 11 representing SmackDown, Trick Williams and Cody Rhodes. Number 12 and 13 representing Raw, the El Grande Americanos.
Yep.
The Ludwig Kaiser version came out first. And And then the Chad Gable, returning Chad Gable, came out second, and he is known as the original El Grande Americano now.
Yep,
The OG. He got a huge pop,
he did.
which is surprising because I didn't think they would go in that direction because the Ludwig Kaiser version is a massive megastar in AAA and is massively over. Whereas on Raw, the Ludwig Kaiser version is booed because it's a heel on Raw.
Yep.
And in AAA, it's a face because he got endorsed by Ray, Ray Mysterio, Ray Phoenix, and Penta. And on the Raw side of things, as it showed on the next night, the original El Grande Americano or Chad Gable was the babyface. And in AAA, where he had his return match recently, he was booed out of the building.
Yeah.
So, which was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I love that it's mixed. You know, like on WWE programming, the original's the babyface and the the Ludwig Kaiser version's the heel, but on AAA it's the opposite, which I think is really cool. And they're playing around with it really well, I think too. And the original uses like the original like El Grande Americano like theme music and everything like that too. So I feel like they should do like 3 matches like I pictured. Have one on WWE, have one at AAA with the roles reversed, and then at Mania you do the mask versus mask match because I feel like that'd be really fun, I think, and everything like that too. And we'll talk about it when we get there. But who should stay? El Grande Americano. But yeah, they did the Spider-Man meme too, which was really funny. The El Grande Americanos, which I thought was awesome.
On AAA.
No, they did in the Rumble.
Mask.
Oh yeah, AAA. Yeah, that would make sense. I'm thinking Mania though, because it seems like a Mania type of match.
They have that sort of. I forget what it is, but they have a show that's centered around it.
Yeah, that's true. They could do it there.
Dr. Wagner Jr. lost his mask. I think Penta was the one that unmasked him years ago. They have a show that's built around, like they have these tournament style matches that lead up to it.
Oh,
it's not triple. I don't think Triple Mania is in it, but I forget the name of the PLE.
Yeah, so maybe they would do it there. I wonder what.
Specifically for that.
Yeah, they would. I wonder when that is though, because they would have to keep this storyline going until then. If it's like in the fall, I'm like, I don't know if you could wait. I don't know if you could keep the storyline going that long.
But they can push it up though. It's not like
Yeah.
Maybe it is Triple Mania that I'm thinking of that has the.
Yeah, that's in like August.
Yeah, it's not the Rey de Reyes tournament. I don't think it's that.
No, that's coming up. That's like with the sword and everything like that. So
they have a specific PLE that it's the main event of the show, and it's usually a multi-man match.
yeah,
And it's mask or mask versus hair. Someone puts their mask on the line, and when they do, their real identity is exposed, and their real name is shown to the world. And that literally happens too, because a lot of the times in Mexico, you won't know someone's real name.
right.
They're very secretive about it. So once they get unmasked, they can be wrestling for 50 years. And they can have this match and then unmask. And that was the first time anyone would know their actual name.
Yeah,
Like most of the time, their last name is known, but not their first name. It's really like they're very secretive about like masked luchadors in Mexico. So it's not really, a lot of them aren't really known like they are in the US. Like you might know someone's real name, like Seth Rollins is Kobe Lopez. You don't have that access in Mexico.
yeah.
So
That's
they
true.
might go there, they might retire, and after like a 50-year career, and you still won't know their real name.
So that'll be yeah, I think that's definitely the show to do it at. Then have the Al Grande Americanos go at it and everything like that.
I think that would be very interesting. I think it's in the fall though. I forget that. I wish I freaking remember the name of it, but I can't remember the name of it.
But like you said, they could push it up. I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that show if it happens.
Once we go through the Rumble, I'll try to find it. Number 14, the first real fucking surprise of the men's Rumble was the man formerly known as Powerhouse Hobbs, Royce Keys.
Mm-hmm.
They even had the Powerhouse Hobbs name up on there, and it shattered away. And Michael Cole mentioned him, formerly known as Powerhouse Hobbs. Please welcome Royce Keys. Royce is his son's name, and Keys is his mother's name. His mother passed away about in 2021-ish, if I remember correctly. He did a day of thing for WWE, and I think he said his mom passed away in like 2021. So it's kind of a tribute. It's a tribute to his son and his mom.
Yeah.
And he came out at 14. That was awesome. That had been rumored for a couple of weeks that he was WWE bound. It turned out it was a lot longer than we thought because he had no intention of resigning with AEW.
And WWE like pretty much knew they were gonna get him for the most part too. So
month before the Rumble that he was coming in.
Yeah.
Powerhouse Hobbs, Royce Keys, has been an absolute mainstay in AEW for years now. Apparently he's 41 or 34. No one knows. Now apparently he's 41, and he was 34 2 days before the Rumble.
The fuck?
It's weird. It's Dave Meltzer, so you know what's wrong.
I hope 34 because that would make more sense. But whatever.
Just a huge gift for WWE. He is going to be a huge star on whether it's Raw or SmackDown. He didn't appear. He didn't appear yet. I saw that he was on Main Event, which is going to get people all up in arms, but I don't care. They're waiting to debut him on Raw or SmackDown at the right time. I think it's SmackDown.
Yeah.
That he's going to be on. But number 15 and 16 on Raw representing the Division, Austin Theory and Bronson Reed. Number 17 representing SmackDown was Ilya Dragunov. Number 18 representing AAA was La Parka. And no, it's not the WCW La Parka. It's not him. It's the new version of La Parka. I'm going to keep saying that because people are going to get them confused, regardless of how many times that we say it. I fucking wish it was the original, but it's not.
He died, right? I think you told me that.
No, that was the other one.
Okay.
So the WCW La Parka is LA Park or La Authentica Park. And the one that took over was La Parka Jr.
Okay.
Originally, and then a whole legal battle came about because the original La Parka left and went to CMLL, and it caused a huge kerfuffle, and AAA sued and won. So they have the rights to the name La Parka, and La Parka Jr. became La Parka, and he was a massive star, and he passed away in 2020.
That's right.
After that just tragic fall that he suicide dive, and he broke his neck and became paralyzed, and the pandemic, he died right before the pandemic, and it was horrific. Very sad.
Do we know who took it over? Do we know who took it over now or no?
Not known yet. He's young though, apparently, according to the dirt sheets. It's a younger wrestler. No one knows who it is yet, and we probably won't ever find out.
Unless he loses a mask versus mask match, in that show you mentioned.
Is his name himself, but I highly doubt that. Um, but at 19, 20, and 21, representing Raw, were Dragon Lee, Logan Paul, and LA Knight. Number 22, representing unaffiliated, was Brock Lesnar. Number 23 and number 24 from SmackDown were The Miz and Rey Fenix. Number 5, representing Raw, was main event Jey Uso, who did his entrance fucking 6 times. Representing number 26, representing SmackDown, was the eventual winner, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. Number 27, representing SmackDown, was Jacob Fatu. Number 28, representing Raw, was Penta. Number 29, representing SmackDown, was Randy Orton. And number 30, representing Raw, was Gunther. Overall, I thought this Royal Rumble was really, really good. It delivered on a lot of things. You got quite a few surprises. The creme de la creme is getting Royce Keys for WWE. Chad Gable, El Grande Americano coming back was kind of funny. But yeah, I thought overall this was a really, really, really good Rumble.
Yeah, I agree. I loved it a lot. It kicked off with a bait immediately with that Masked Man attack, and then Braun Breaker getting eliminated. Got a lot of people talking. I love the Oba performance. I like that we got kind of like a little bit of the 2020 Royal Rumble, where he eliminated a bunch of people. And then, eventually, it was kind of cool. You got to have like this, kind of like these are the guys now type of thing. Because I think at one point you got like the Stand and Deliver like main event from last year, like showcase again with Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and Oba Femi all being like in the ring at the same time and locking up a little bit. Mr. Iguana showing up was funny. My friends didn't really think that was a real wrestler, so they thought that was a rib on them and everything like that. Because they don't watch AAA, so they were like, this can't be real type of thing. So that was funny. And Royce Keys, I thought looked awesome in this match. He took it to Oba Femi. He eliminated Damian Priest. So I imagine that might be his first feud, like when we start to see him weekly on television. Damian Priest might be going heel soon because like he was like very frustrated, like because they did like. I said on Instagram where and like I think on YouTube it's also on where they showcase like them leaving on the golf carts, and Damian Priest was like upset that these new guys keep taking his spot, so that was interesting. Then the Brock Lesnar stuff was cool. They kind of tried to save the Oba match. They eventually did lock up, but nothing crazy. I liked, obviously, the Roman Reigns. I thought he did some good stuff in this match. The only thing I didn't really like about this match was obviously the Jey Uso entrance. That took up, we missed a lot of significant stuff because of that entrance, because we missed Brock's elimination and we missed Oba's elimination, which was kind of two big things that we needed to see in this match. I'm over the Yeet and Thin, I think, at this point. The fact that like they took time out of the Rumble to do this, they did it at War Games too, which was also annoying, but we didn't cover that show, so we didn't really get to talk about that. LA Knight's return was cool. He kind of got his revenge on the Vision by I think he eliminated like all of them except like Logan, I think. And kind of continued his feud there. Roman Reigns winning I thought was fine. I think that made all the sense in the world. A lot of people thought like him winning, kind of showed like how the creative is in trouble for WWE. Like it's very lacking, but I think him winning makes a lot of sense. I feel like they did Roman dirty last year. They needed to get him kind of back on track and get his star power back. And him winning the Rumble is a good step to that. I don't really know what else Roman Reigns does at WrestleMania if he's not challenging for the title. And he's not going to be at Chamber, so having him win the Rumble is a good step to get him towards the main event of WrestleMania. Obviously there was said that Braun Breaker was supposed to win the Rumble, but then WrestleMania tickets, like, obviously weren't selling like they wanted, so they wanted to get a big match going with Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, which I think makes a lot of sense. And as we get to, there's other reasons Braun Breaker's not going to be at WrestleMania potentially this year. Yeah, Roman Reigns winning I thought makes sense. It's, he hasn't won the Rumble in years, because, a lot of times people would have hated, or he was champion the last few years, and then last year he had other storylines going on. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, as we'll talk about, makes sense to do for a match since they've been kind of teasing that match for a while, and obviously now's the time to do it. I imagine it was probably supposed to be like Seth, and Roman would have won the Rumble, but obviously with Seth's injury, they still had Roman win the Rumble, just Punk's the champ now. I don't know where Punk would have fit into any of this, unless he was probably going to lose the match. Maybe he would have won the belt from Seth and then lost it back at Stranger Things Raw. I'm really not sure. But yeah, Roman Reigns wouldn't make sense. I love this Rumble. I thought it was awesome. Some of the surprise appearances would. I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. I would go 4 3/4, but I think the Jey Uso entrance really knocks it down a lot because we missed a lot of significant eliminations and things like that. Oh, and then there's they had Drew eliminate Cody from the Rumble. They kind of continue that feud, which I thought was cool.
It's I give the men's Rumble a 4 stars. I thought it was great. Entertainment value was there. Jey Uso doing his entrance really knocks it down a little bit, but not enough to get out of the 4 range for me. It's just kind of, I'm just kind of over it. I like Jey. I like him in the tag team role. Just done with the fucking run it back fucking every fucking time.
Yeah.
One entrance, get the fuck in the ring, do the match.
Yeah, that's the Royal Rumble. I'm probably gonna give it a B+. I thought it was a great show. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed most of the stuff on the show. I thought nothing really bad on the show. The only thing I didn't really like was obviously Liv winning the Rumble. That's the biggest critique I have with the Rumble. But other than that, everything else I thought was pretty solid on that show.
Yes. I agree also. I Liv winning the Rumbles, whatever. But yeah, I agree with that.
But yeah, let's talk about what's been going on in WWE program and some of the stuff that's continued over from the Rumble. Some stuff, like we said, we're gonna talk about that happened before the Rumble because we haven't been able to talk about any of this stuff. But yeah, let's talk about because. Like I said, someone made the decision of who they're facing at WrestleMania, and that's Roman Reigns. He was on Raw then the following episode. Kind of cool because that Raw was in Philly, and obviously, when he won the Rumble before, it was in Philly, and that got hated on, and that was brought up. And, we weren't really sure what he was going to pick, There was a chance he could go after Drew McIntyre, go after the title that he never got a rematch for. Him and Drew have a lot of history together with the battles when, Roman was in the bloodline and everything like that. But then obviously they were building the Punk match for a while. And, Punk and Roman had that awesome promo segment the next night after Royal Rumble, and it was excellent. CM Punk didn't even reference Roman Reigns in the beginning. He called out Finn Balor, which we'll get to, because he had attacked him a week before, which Roman took offense to, and they both just went back and forth. CM Punk talked about how he's more of a full-timer than Roman Reigns is. He likes the grind. He went and did all the the Holiday and the UK tours and everything like that. He mentioned that, the whole reason Roman Reigns was able to be a long-reigning champion was because of CM Punk's 434-day reign, and he ripped that off, and he ripped off, him being with Paul Heyman. I even loved how he mentioned, just because Roman Reigns did it longer doesn't mean he did it better, and that's a big debate to have, which one was better, because without Punk's, I don't really think you get Roman's, because Punk's was the first like long reigning champion we had for a while. I don't think a person had held a belt for really. I guess Cena in '07, I guess, was like the last one, but like I think CM Punk's was like marketed more than Cena's was. Cena just kind of hold the belt, and then Roman talked about how like CM Punk is just trying to make up for lost time when you know when he was gone, and then mentions that Roman Reigns had to like give the approval for CM Punk to come back because they went to him to ask about it, which was pretty interesting. And then obviously he mentioned, that he talked trash about this company on his friend's podcast, which in no way to know than Punk, because Punk and his friend's podcast are for the furthest sense from friends now. I think he's like sued him like 20 times, or the vice versa. Someone sued somebody. And then
yeah. Punk and Colt Cabana are very much not friends anymore.
To the point where Colt tried to make up with Punk, and Punk told him to get the fuck away from him, pretty much. That's how much they're not friends. And then, Roman Reigns finally chose CM Punk, and he didn't pick CM Punk because he thought that'd be a good match because he can't stand him and he wants to take him off his pedestal. So that's going to be Night 2 WrestleMania main event, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Really looking forward to that. The promo segment, I thought Nick kicked it out of the park. I think that's been the best segment that's, like, ended Raw in quite a while. I think since, like, probably since the first Netflix Raw, honestly. I think is the last, like, good segment that, like, got a lot of people talking coming out of it and everything like that. Because, I guess maybe, like, when the Vision formed, I guess that one was pretty significant. But, I thought, it was an excellent promo segment. It was the kick in the arm that WWE needed to get into WrestleMania mode. Unfortunately, Roman's not going to be around for a while. I think he's probably due to not come back until, after Elimination Chamber. I don't know if it's the Raw right afterwards or it's, the Raw after that. I thought they really got the ball rolling really well for the WrestleMania program. What did you think of Roman Reigns' decision? Did you think CM Punk was the right decision? Or do you think he should have picked Drew?
Right decision. I felt this is the money match. This is the match that everyone wants to see. There's a lot of hatred there. It was awesome. I think this is going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, be interested to see what happens. I really don't know who's going to win. And it's awesome. I get to see it live, too, which is great. So, but, we have the Elimination Chamber first. And we have some matches announced already for the Elimination Chamber. Because this match in WrestleMania is Jeopardy. It might not even happen because CM Punk has another storyline he's got to deal with. That's Finn Balor. Because Finn Balor, during that match with AJ Styles, with CM Punk, attacked CM Punk and wants to still go after the title. And Finn Balor, was kind of told that, like, the chances for him to challenge for the world title were gone. He wasn't in the Rumble, and the main event of WrestleMania was already set, so he just kind of had to, like, wait. But Finn Balor did want to wait. He invaded CM Punk's interview and demanded a world title match. And CM Punk came out and, eventually Adam Pearce was trying to get CM Punk to not give in to Finn Balor, not give in to giving him a world title match, because obviously he doesn't want the world title match to get jeopardized with CM Punk doing this, not just because he could lose the title, but he could get himself injured before WrestleMania. But CM Punk decided to do it. Elimination Chamber, now the roles are going to be reversed. Last time, it was in Finn Balor's hometown. He had home field advantage, but this time around, CM Punk has home field advantage because Elimination Chamber's in Chicago. So it's going to be CM Punk versus Finn Balor for the world title. The whole story of the match was CM Punk wants to see the old Finn Balor. The Finn Balor, that had that NXT run. The Finn Balor that had the New Japan run. Not this Judgment Day version of Finn Balor that has been held back. And they really played into that in Raw this past week. And Finn Balor's got his own theme back. We talked about this before. He brought his own theme back in Ireland, but we weren't really sure if that was a one-off. And then this week, he actually came out to that theme song. So that's really interesting. And they've been kind of teasing dissension with Finn Balor on the Judgment Day. I know they've been doing that for like years, but this time it's like actually like legit, it feels like. I'm looking forward to seeing CM Punk versus Finn Balor for the world title. I think that's going to be an excellent I imagine that's going to main event the show since CM Punk's the hometown guy. And that match is going to get like the most like crowd reaction and everything like that. And how do you feel about the world title match at Elimination Chamber? I'm pretty much a big fan of that.
I love it. I think it's awesome. I think the match is going to be great. I love that. Catch Your Breath is back. I liked his other theme. His other theme was really good, but this is just like this just suits Finn Balor so much better. It's a really good story. Very much looking forward to it.
I think Finn's turning face soon. Maybe not at Chamber, but like I think the match at Mania is going to be Finn versus Dom for the IC title. We're going to get there somehow. I don't know how, but we're going to get there. Do you think so, or do you think that's not going to happen?
I think it still could happen, yeah.
I mean, it sucks because then Dom stays heel, and he's someone that needs a face turn also. But I guess I don't know who needs it more. I think they both need it the same, but I guess we're gonna get one. But it just sucks because Dom's gonna stay heel, and I feel like Dom doesn't really need to stay. Like Dom's been needed to turn face. It's like last year's WrestleMania. That's how long this goes back to. But whatever, Other matches that are going to happen in Elimination Chamber. We also are going to have someone else who's going to be having the hometown advantage. AJ Lee is going to be challenging Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. She was backstage at Raw recently, and AJ Lee goaded Becky into the match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. They had a promo segment this week, which was pretty solid, where AJ Lee was trying to goad Becky into attacking her, but Becky didn't want to attack her because she doesn't want to give AJ Lee any excuses to not be like healthy. It's gonna be AJ Lee's first one-on-one match since she's come back. And obviously, I don't think she's had a one-on-one match in quite a while because the last match she had I think was like a tag match, and then the Mania 31 she was in a tag match, so she hasn't had a one-on-one match in over 10 years. So it's quite insane. I'm looking forward to this match. Kind of interesting to see what they'll do at Mania if they're doing this match at Chamber. I guess it makes sense to do this match at Elimination Chamber since it's in AJ Lee's hometown and everything like that. I would have loved to have them hold off at Mania. Maybe they're gonna do a 4-way and put Natty and Maxine involved in that since AJ Lee and Becky have been kind of around that feud too. So be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this match. I think this match will be excellent. And I think Becky's probably the good choice for AJ Lee's first like one-on-one match back. It still like just shows how bizarre this AJ Lee return has been, because obviously this would have been better if like AJ Lee was at the Rumble, eliminated Becky from the Rumble, and then we got this match. I would have preferred that, but whatever. This AJ Lee return has also been just really bizarre, because when she's been there, it's been awesome, but then like there's been shows she should have been at that like wasn't there, so whatever. But what do you overall think of and again, it would have been better if like Becky didn't like lose the belt already. And then, this should have been all, like, the same reign Becky's had since, like, Money in the Bank, but whatever. But what do you think of the AJ Lee-Becky Lynch feud? I think the path they got there was kind of, like, weird, but I like the fact that we're here now.
Yeah, it was a weird path, but yeah, I feel like Becky should not have lost the title. But yeah, we're here, and I feel like this is going to be a really good match. There's a lot of animosity built up there. Looking forward to it.
And then we have the 2 chamber matches. They're doing qualifying matches at the moment to decide who's going to be in them. The full chamber isn't set, but they're starting to build to them. The women's matches at the moment, the announcement to participants. So Tiffany Stratton, Alexa Bliss. Tiffany Stratton, Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley. There's a 4th one in there. So I did the 2 SmackDown ones. I did the Raw one. I think the other Raw one's... it's Asuka. The Asuka's the other Raw one. They all had qualifying matches to get in. Asuka had to qualify by beating Natty and Bayley. Rhea Ripley qualified by beating Lyra Valkyria and Ivy Nile. Tiffany Stratton qualified by beating Chelsea Green and Zelina Vega. No, that was... Alexa qualified by beating Zelina Vega and Julia. Tiffany qualified by beating Last Legend and Chelsea Green. All the qualifying matches were good. I think the best match was probably the Asuka match. All the participants, I think, have made sense so far. I think Tiffany makes sense. because she's back, she can be a champ. She wants to be a champion again. Rhea Ripley makes sense for the star power. And then Asuka makes sense, but I think that was the least interested one. Bailey, I think, had a better story, and then Natty being in the chamber would have been cool. I guess they didn't want Natty to take a big loss yet, and she would have had to lose up because I don't think she's gonna win the chamber anyways. And then Alexa makes sense. They're doing 2 other triple threat qualifiers. It's gonna be Charlotte Flair, Kiana James, and Nia. I imagine Charlotte Flair's totally winning that. I don't think Kiana or Nia are gonna qualify. And then next week it's Io, Kairi Sane, and somebody else. I forget who else. And I imagine Io's gonna make her way into the chamber. But overall, the chamber qualifiers have been good. If I had to say my favorite one, it's probably the Asuka match, and then my least favorite was probably the Tiffany Lash Legend Chelsea match, even though they ended up being good. But overall, how do you feel about how the women's chamber field has been put together? What's your favorite qualifier? What's your least favorite qualifier? Do you like everyone that's in it so far? And who do you think's winning the 2 other triple threat qualifiers?
I thought the build-up has been fine so far. Like I don't really know about the qualifiers because I don't really. They've been happening on SmackDown, and I don't really watch SmackDown, so I don't know. But yeah, I thought that the build-up so far has been fine.
Yeah,
I haven't minded it.
and then the men's ones have also been pretty good. We know the difference is we actually know the title that the men's ones is going to be fighting for. It's going to be for the WWE championship since Roman picked the world title. And we've had some good qualifiers there. LA Knight beat Austin Theory and Penta. Randy Orton beat Solo Sikoa and Aleister Black. Javon Evans beat Gunther and Dominic Mysterio. And Cody Rhodes beat Jacob Fatu and Sami Zayn. All the competitors of the men's side have been pretty much big fans of so far. Randy Orton makes sense to be in the match. Obviously, Cody makes sense. I feel like that was kind of a boring one, but that was kind of obvious he was going to qualify. But obviously, they tried to... that match was pretty unpredictable because Jacob and Cody have both been feuding with Drew, but then also Sammy has been involved in that. And they tried to have Drew cost both Cody and Jacob the match, but Cody was able to overcome it. A lot of people obviously complain that Cody won, Super Cody and everything like that, but it's whatever. And then LA Knight made sense. The Masked Man cost Theory, which is really funny that Theory got revenge for that. And then this week was awesome. I didn't really expect Javon to make it. I expected Gunther was just going to win, but then they had Dragon Lee attack Gunther with the wind belt to cost on the match, and then Javon won. Which I like, because I was originally going to come on here and talk about what I used to like about the Chamber was they would always put somebody in there you knew wouldn't win, but would have a really good performance. And I was going to talk about how disappointed I was that they weren't going to do that, but then Javon's in it this year, and I feel like he's going to... I imagine he's doing some type of OG cutter, not off the paw, but off the chain link fence. He's gonna hit that off the chain link fence, onto the elimination chamber floor and everything like that. Which I think would be cool, and he could do that now, considering the fact that the floor is safer to do it off of now and everything like that. That's gonna be awesome. And Javon has some history with the people in the match. He's got a history with Randy Orton from the days in NXT and everything like that. And Javon will have a really good showing. This is cool too. He's the first competitor to be in the match that's younger than the match itself. Everyone, the match. The Chamber was created back in 2002, and Javon Evans, was he born 2004 or something? He's 21 years old, so whatever. So that's pretty cool. He's younger than the match stipulation itself. But we have a couple of other qualifiers coming up. It's gonna be Jey Uso versus the original El Grande Americano and Blake Bronson Reed next week, and then on SmackDown this week we're gonna have Damian Priest versus Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams. So that's kind of cool because I think Trick's probably going to win that triple threat match. And I imagine Jay's winning the other one because Bronson Reed's probably going to get taken out by the Masked Man. And then El Grande Americano might get screwed over by the fake one. If you think it's the fake one, whatever you want to think. But whatever. But yeah, I've been
His
really,
identity.
but I really like the men's one so far. I think that's being built up pretty well. I love the competitors that are in it so far. I think with the woman, they're gonna play it safe and just put main eventers in there. I love that the men's one's taking a little bit more risk and putting like guys that in there that aren't gonna win, but they're but them having that good performance is gonna do more for their careers than anything else. What do you think of how the men's one's been put together?
Put together really well. Jerron Evans was a surprise because I thought for sure it might have been Gunther, or if not Gunther, it's gonna be Dom, and I thought for sure he was gonna eat the pin. But I'm very happy that he's in it.
How cool is it? He's like the first superstar to be in it too. That's like younger than the match stipulation like itself. Do you think that's cool? Or do you not even care?
That's just like one of those like holy shit moments. He's born April 29th, 2004.
Yeah. So,
So he's about 2 years younger than the fucking chamber itself, which is wild.
and I think Trick's older than the Chamber if he makes it. I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah, he is.
yeah. So, um, yeah. Who do you think's winning the other two like triple threat match? Do you think it's just gonna be Jay and Trick, or do you think they're gonna do something different?
It's gonna be Trick and probably Jay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say El Grande Americano, but then what would be the point of that?
But yeah, I'm into the card for Elimination Chamber so far. I think it's going to be pretty solid. I imagine it's just going to be these four matches because, typically they only do four matches. I imagine they're not going to add another match. I think to the Chambers are going to be like a half hour, and then the AJ Lee Becky match will be another half hour, and then the Punk Finn match will be another half hour. And,
They spotlight the two chamber matches essentially.
yeah. How do you feel about how the chamber card's been put together? Do you think they could have done stuff differently? Or do you think are you completely fine with how it's put together so far?
I am perfectly fine with how it's been put together so far.
Wouldn't make any changes. Nothing. Just keep it the way it is.
Yeah, I'd keep it the way it is. It's pretty good so far.
Unfortunately, though, there's a change I think we wish we could make that it's out of WWE's control because Braun Breaker might not even be at. He might not be at. He's definitely going to be at the Elimination Chamber, but he may miss Mania. I have you to talk about this. Why don't you kind of talk about what's going on with Braun Breaker?
So he's had a couple of nagging issues, and then on Raw after the Rumble, he flipped over the commentary table and he now has a hernia injury. So he's going to be out for a while. That sucks. And it's just it's like of course. So that's just like of course everything's going good, and then boom, this injury comes to derail it.
Yeah. The Vision's had a lot of problems. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
So I feel, because Seth's, the Vision wasn't being booked the greatest anyways, like when Seth was involved and stuff like that, but you could see there was a plan, and then Seth got hurt, and that ruined everything. Because obviously, they probably wouldn't have done the Masked Man thing with Theory. He was probably just going to come into the faction on his own without, like, anything, and then, they had, like, everything pretty much planned out from that point. It was probably going to be, like, Punk and Seth would have had the world title match. Maybe Seth would have beaten Punk at Saturday... Oh, no, Punk would have beaten Seth at Saturday Night's main event, and then Seth would have won it back at Raw Stranger Things, and then, like, they would have done the Roman match, and they probably would have found something for Punk to do, like maybe face Brock or Braun Breaker itself. But obviously, all that got fucked up when Seth got hurt. And then... We actually, I think, recovered pretty well. I think making Logan Paul full-time helped them out a lot because then he was able to put some star power back to the faction. They started using Braun Breaker really well. But in theory, it was a good idea. No pun intended, but in theory. And then Bronson Reed, just kind of the big...
Up.
Huh?
Look at you being very punny.
I know. And then... Bronson Reed, has been doing pretty well. But then, and then Vision was starting to kind of work again a little bit. And Braun Breaker especially. And then this injury happened with Braun Breaker. And that kind of, and they had this big storyline. I think it seemed planned with this Masked Man, whatever's going on with Adam Pearce and everything was kind of going along good there. And then, you know, Braun Breaker's now injured, and now the theory's kind of stuck in limbo again because now they just lost the two like big stars they've been building the faction around again and everything like that. Obviously, the things coming out of the other side could be pretty good because when Seth comes back, he'll be a big baby face going up against the Vision, and then when Braun comes back, I imagine he's gonna have an epic return when he comes back. Like he's gonna come back and like spear somebody and just go on and just become a machine again. But it seems like the Vision have just had a lot of creative stifles. And then, like, this has hurt the WrestleMania card now, because, like, whatever this Masked Man thing was going to be was obviously going to tie into something with Braun Breaker. But now that he's gone, that kind of messes up that now and everything like that. And it's just like, it's kind of annoying. But, you know, the state of the wrestling business, injuries are going to happen. You know, I don't know what's going to happen with Braun Breaker when he comes back, if he'll just come back and still be with the Vision or what, but... yeah, this kind of sucks for Mania. They clearly had some big plans for him. Again, that sucks for him because he went from being like a contender to win the Rumble, and then obviously he didn't win the Rumble, and that's whatever. But they had a plan for him after that, and he was going to have a huge year built around him, but we don't even know when he's coming back or everything like that. He may make Mania, but he may not, but they may wait, you know, they may wait to put him back until after Mania too, because like if he's ready, because if he comes back and he's not ready, and again, do you really want to put him in a big storyline at WrestleMania, have him come back and have a big match after just having hernia surgery? That doesn't really sound very safe. But yeah, this kind of sucks for Braun Breaker and everything and just WWE in general because he was a new young star being pushed and everything like that too. Anything else you want to say about this? You want to just move on to the next thing because I know you've been waiting to talk about this probably all day.
Move on. Ha 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 ha. So WWE this past week on Raw teased that at Elimination Chamber there was something that was inside of this crate, and the rumor mill got turning. Chris Jericho's Fozzy tour was ending. Everyone thought it was going to be him, and it turns out that little bitch, that little motherfucker, Tony Khan, froze Chris Jericho's contract, so it's not going to be him. So, which is, I knew he was going to do that. In the back of my head, I was like, you know what? I think he's going to, I think he's going to freeze that contract. Because that's just what he's going to do. He doesn't want him going to WWE and being a part of a major storyline on a major show for the rival company, so he's just going to freeze the contract. I thought about that back in like October, November. But when the contract was expired, I was like, oh, we didn't do it. Okay. And lo and behold, he did anyway. So, fuck him, fuck AEW. They can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, this sucks. It's really affected a lot of things. One, I was looking forward to seeing him at Mania this year because I'm going to Mania this year. He was probably gonna have a big match on the card. But then now that's not gonna happen. Now, could be the last time I ever see Jericho live too, because you know if he's gonna be winding down his wrestling career very soon and everything like that. So this sucks. It's really affected. I think WWE were probably gonna build the year this year around Jericho, and now we're not even gonna get him probably until like SummerSlam time. So like, fucking affects a lot of things. And I just didn't think they would do this with Jericho because I thought Jericho and Tony had like a pretty decent relationship, and you know I thought Tony would see the fact that he'd be thankful for everything Jericho did for AEW, kind of like going there, getting them going when they needed him and everything like that. And a lot of the reason that AEW got into the position that it was in and everything like that was because of Jericho. So I'm like, okay, they have a good enough relationship. And this just sucks too because like they had agreed that Jericho was going to take time off last year, and you know I guarantee you he didn't even freeze his contract until like Jericho started to like show interest, and like it started to be rumored that like Jericho was even going to come back to WWE, and you know, lo and behold, yeah, that's not what happened. Jericho's not going to be seen for a while. This royally sucks. I'm extremely pissed about this. And of course, now you have all the AEW fanboys being like, Tony can do this. He's a businessman. It's contract. He's Jericho didn't show up. He took time off, and he's got this is just how it works with the contract things and everything like that. It's just really stupid. I'm really pissed about this. I was looking forward to seeing Jericho come back, and now we have to wait extra long time. And I don't even know why Tony does this too, because it's not like it's gonna make Jericho come back to his company and everything like that. I don't get this at all, and I'm really pissed about this. Now I don't even know if they're gonna do this crate thing now anymore, because I imagine that was supposed to be Jericho. I imagine they're gonna just either drop the storyline or because whoever's in this crate now is gonna be extremely disappointed now, because we all thought it was gonna be Jericho. Now it's not gonna be Jericho. So who else can they throw out there to be in this crate? I feel like it's gonna be extremely disappointing. No matter who, unless it's Powerhouse Hobbs, I guess. But again, we've already seen Powerhouse Hobbs, so it's I think it was meant to be Jericho. So I don't know if they'll just drop this storyline or maybe just have somebody else be in the crate. But again, whoever's in this crate now, if it's not Jericho, I feel like they're just setting up for disappointment. Yeah, I'm not happy about this. Anything else you want to say about this? I'm really pissed about this.
It's the worst. Part of me knew this was going to happen. Part of me is thinking this has to do with the Andrade situation. And it just doesn't sit right with me. That's such a scummy thing to do. WWE didn't freeze the contract of Andrade. They released him and gave him a fucking non-compete clause. Totally different story.
Yeah. And he broke it, right? That's what.
And he broke the non-compete clause because he can't read contracts.
Yeah.
But it's not even remotely the same situation. And if you're going to condemn Triple H and TKO for doing that, you got to condemn Tony Khan.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're not going to. So it is what it is. Jericho also has recently expressed, according to that article too, that tweet, Jericho has expressed interest in coming back. He wants to come back, but he's unsure that WWE will let him do outside projects, like keep his podcast. That's the one thing that he's kind of nervous about losing, but I'm pretty sure WWE would let him do that anyway.
Yeah, because Matt Cardona's still doing his podcast, and he's been back.
And it's not Vince, which you knew if it was Vince, he'd say, fuck no. So...
Yeah. I imagine it would go into, the podcast, because WWE has, the one little podcast, not company, but, the Fanatics thing, Undertaker's podcast is a part of that. Cody's podcast is a part of that, and then, Logan's podcast is a part of that now. Who else is? Oh, it's Stephanie's podcast. So I imagine it would just maybe it would just go into that vortex and everything like that. I don't think much would change about the podcast, I guess, because Logan, I think is still plugging. I think he's had guests on that's not even affiliated with WWE. Obviously he's had WWE affiliates, but he I think the only difference about the podcast is they just have to do the ad reads now and everything like that type of thing now. I guess they'd be worried. Maybe Jericho would be worried about he would be able to have some of the guests that he's on because I think he still has some of the AEW guests on there and everything like that. Obviously, that wouldn't be able to happen anymore because again, contract. But we'll see. I think we will see Jericho. It just sucks. It's just gonna take a longer time now. If there was any chance, I think Jericho was going back to AEW. I think that's I think now that Tony froze his contract, I think that's fucking out the window now. I don't think we're gonna see we're never gonna probably see Jericho, because that's the thing I saw in the comments too. A lot of people convince themselves, this means Jericho's totally going back to AEW if they froze his contract. They're gonna work out a deal and everything like that now and everything like that too. I think if anything now he's not definitely going back to AEW and everything like that. So, So do you think they're gonna drop like this crate storyline now because Jericho's contract got froze, or do you think they're just gonna like keep it and just make it somebody else? Who do you think it will be? Because I can't, I don't know, because I think Jericho was the only like option. Do you think it could be Mr. Iguana? It could be him. Oh, you have to speak up. We're not catching you. I can hear you, but they're not. It's not catching your audio.
It could be Kane.
Oh, it could be Kane. Yeah, he was in the background this past week as like a video, in the video games and stuff. And maybe that's a hit. Maybe it's Kane.
Midian.
Just Midian or naked Midian or naked Midian. Just Midian or
Gangrel.
what about, is it just Midian or naked Midian?
Gotta be naked Midian.
Yep. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, there's some other things going on in WWE. We want to make sure we talk about. Some of them have to do with Chambers, some of them don't. So we're just going to talk about them real quick. Liv Morgan has still yet to make her decision about who she's facing at WrestleMania. That's kind of the big storyline going on in the women's division. She's shown up on both Raw and SmackDown, kind of teased like she's going to go after either the women's world title or the women's championship. It's obvious she's going to go after Stephanie's, though, because there's obviously some bad blood there. Stephanie Vaquer slapped Dom in the face last week, and then this past week she had an exclusive interview that was completely interrupted by Stephanie Vaquer. And she apparently made Liv cry, and it was just really bad. I don't really understand what Liv got upset about, but whatever. She's totally picking Stephanie because there seems like there's more bad blood in that like feud. And again, Liv and Jade are both kind of like heels, and I just don't really think it really makes sense for her to pick Jade. I think Stephanie would also be the better match. The only thing that worries is that she's probably going to beat Stephanie, but I don't really want to see a Liv title reign. They could surprise us and have Stephanie retain. Maybe she asks Raquel to help, but I have a feeling they're going to get like real dumb and have like Liv win the belt, and it's just going to be terrible. But whatever. I don't know why they haven't had Liv make a choice yet, because it's totally obvious she's picking Stephanie. So why not just like get it over with? But what do you think of this like thing going on with Liv where she hasn't even made a choice yet?
To make up her mind, and it's going to be Stephanie. It's so obvious.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's going to be. It's obviously Stephanie.
What if she just never decides and just never picks?
No problem.
I know, but what happens in Mania? Because then because then like the Elimination Chamber, the whole point of that is like it's whoever Liv doesn't pick. Like if Liv never picks, like what happens in that match now? Who does Jade face? Who does the one of the Elimination Chamber face? Like everything's all messed up.
Move on.
Did they there's even any women's title matches at Mania? They just say you're all gonna take the night off. I guess no women's title matches at WrestleMania this year.
Exactly.
Huh?
Exactly.
Like if when do you think Liv should make a choice, or do you think she should just never make it up? Just say fuck it.
Fuck it.
Just don't make up her mind. Just whatever.
Yep. Never make up your mind.
We'll see. I imagine she'll probably pick next week, right? She has to, right? I don't see why she wouldn't.
I would think that's the time
Yeah.
to pick.
What if she picks both? Could you pick both, or do you think you don't only pick one? Like, could you pick both and say I'm gonna wrestle you at night 1 and then wrestle you at night 2, or do you think you have to just pick one?
And theoretically, you could probably pick both of them, but why would you?
What if she picked like, to face like Fallon Henley for the speed belt? She doesn't even pick the main belt.
Yeah. Let's go. Speed Championship, let's go.
I mean, also to this women's chamber match, what's Tony Hinchcliffe lost out on the qualify. Now he can't win the. He has no way of. He has no path to get into the Divas Championship now at WrestleMania. He didn't show up for the Rumble, and he didn't show up for the qualifying match. So how the hell he's gonna get a Divas title? He has no path to get to the Divas Championship now.
Figure out his own path now.
He can't fight for the Divas title though. He missed out on that. He said he wanted to be the Divas champion, but he didn't win the Rumble, and he didn't win the Elimination Chamber. So how the hell is he gonna decide? How's he gonna get there?
He'll figure it out.
Who's he faced? There's no Divas champion.
He can create it himself.
But it's already been a Thing. It was a Thing before.
Exactly. He can just come out and be like, I'm Divas champion.
Just like they gave Travis Scott like the hardcore title, and like he could just do that. He could just come out with the Divas championship.
Yeah.
And
then Travis Scott fucks off.
So do you think he fucks off, or do you think he sticks around?
I think he sticks around.
Does he ever defend the Divas title, or he just carries it around?
Yes.
Which one?
Both.
He just how do you defend it and just carry it around?
It's pretty easy, actually.
You
just carry it and you defend it at the same time.
What opponents could he face for this title? Who does he fight?
One come all.
How about this for a match at WrestleMania? Tony Hinchcliffe versus Byron Saxton for the Divas Championship.
Hell yeah.
It's a 3-hour Iron Man match for the Divas Championship.
3 hour, 3 stages of hell.
What are the stages?
Iron Man. False count anywhere. No holds barred.
Wait, false count of no holds barred is the same thing. You pick it
back, baby.
Huh?
Back to back.
How long's is Iron Man the first stage too, or is that the last stage?
Yeah.
How long's the Iron Man match?
6 years.
Is it all on Is it all on ESPN too? You have to watch that for 6 years.
You can't click out of it either.
You can't? Once you're there, you're there?
Once you're there, you're there.
Can you pause it? Like, go get...
Nope.
You're gonna watch that for 6 years? I mean, I guess you don't have to watch it for 6 years, but you can get up and get stuff, like, and just have the match play in the background, right? Right?
You have to sit there and watch it the whole time. You cannot leave.
What if you leave?
You die.
Like that second?
Like that second. The second that ass comes off of that couch, dead.
Well, you could stay in the same facility and just watch it as you're doing stuff, like alongside it, right? You don't have to sit there intently and watch it the whole time.
Intently.
Say that again.
You have to watch it intently.
Can you prep ahead of time, like get all the food you need in the meantime, and like get
prep as much food as you need for 6 years.
How much? And then like, can you like oh damn! I don't know how you sit there for 6 years though. Like that'd be hard.
Figure it out.
That's only one stage, by the way. Too. There's still a whole two. There's a whole.
That's just stage 1.
Stage 2 is like pretty easy. You're just gonna watch a street, and that'll probably be over pretty quick because like they'll be exhausted from like stage 1. But like yeah,
non-stop wrestling for 6 years.
Could you watch? Can you go? You said you have to watch it intently, but can you like? You know, on ESPN Plus, you can like multi-watch like things. Can you you can watch 2 things at once? Can you do that? You know, with or can you only watch that one thing for 6 years?
Watch that one thing.
Damn.
You have to subject him to that torture for 6 years.
Are you allowed to watch someone like your phone at the put your phone up to like the TV and watch that also at the? Or is it just that?
Just that.
Wow. Can you go on your phone like at all doing that?
Nope.
Wow.
You have to watch that match for 6 years straight.
Is there other matches like on the show like?
Nope.
Just that match?
Just that match.
So that's its own night of WrestleMania. Well, I guess it's its own thing at I was about to say it's its own night at WrestleMania, but it's own like several nights of like WrestleMania. Like
Non-stop.
who's on commentary for this?
Let's see. Who will be on commentary for this awesome barn burner Hall of Fame level match?
Do you remember who's in it at this point?
Hall of Fame barn burner show-stopping match.
Who's on commentary? Because the commentary is gonna be interesting for 6 years.
It's let's see.
You don't even know.
No one.
No, is it fans or is it empty arena? Is it empty arena?
Just packed stadium, going wild
for 6 years.
for 6 years. No commentary, so you hear all the grunts.
Wow, 6 years of that.
6 years of grunting.
Who wins after 6 years?
Byron Saxton.
Oh, that's good. At least you gave Byron Saxton a Mania moment, a nice win. That's good.
See, so after all those 6 years, Tony Hitchcliff still can't win.
Well, yeah, he's defended the belt and he can't even... Is that his first title defense, or is he going to have a few to build up to that, or is that his first one?
First one.
What's the hype behind this? Is there any?
It's just that Tony Hitchcliff needed an opponent for WrestleMania, and no one wanted to face him. And then he was walking down the hallway, and Byron Saxton bumped into him, and they did the shoulder meme to each other, and that's the match.
Wow, I like this.
And then they stared each other down. No words were said. Nothing. And then the graphic pops up. Tony Hitchcliff versus Byron Saxton for the Divas Championship in a 6-year Iron Man match. And then a Falls Count Anywhere match. And then a No Holds Barred match.
How do they decide it's 3 stages of hell? Is it just randomly decided, or is there actually...
It's decided by a randomizer.
Like the spin the wheel, make a deal thing. And then they don't gimmick the wheel, and they don't think it's going to land on 3 stages of hell, and then it does, and then they have to come up with the stages.
Then they were surprised by it because they thought it was going to be a regular singles match.
How do they come? Who comes up with the stipulation of a 6-year Iron Man match in the stage 1? Why is that not the last stage?
Long.
Huh?
Teddy Long.
How come he decides it's the first stage, not like the last stage? Why does he put that shit in the first stage?
Asses in seats.
Is there any disqualifications or countouts in the first stage, or no?
Everything's a disqualification.
What do you mean everything's a disqualification?
All of it.
So like if you hit a punch, that's a disqualification?
Yes, everything's a disqualification.
If you look at your opponent, is that a disqualification?
Yes.
If you do an entrance, is that a disqualification?
Yes.
So that's even before the match starts, the entrances and all that shit. That's a disqualification, like instant.
That's a disqualification. That's a disqualification.
What would the points be at the end of the Iron Man match?
6 years worth of points.
I know. What's the points? Like, what's the who wins the first stage, and like what's the and by how much? Like,
so the first stage, it's not even going to get to a third stage because Tony Hitchcliff is going to get swept.
So what's the points? Yeah, but don't forget an Iron Man match. There's more point. Yeah, you have to get more points.
It's going to be 7 billion points.
But so Byron Saxton's got 7 billion. How many points does Tony Hitchcliff have in the first stage, or does he get any?
And then Byron Saxton wins the Falls Count Anywhere match in a squash.
Well, yeah, because they would have been wrestling for 6 years. What's Tony's points in the Iron Man match? You cut out there.
Zero.
Zero. He gets nothing. So
He gets nothing.
So you-
Everything he does is a disqualification, and everything that Byron Saxon does is not a disqualification.
so Tony can't even go for a pin. If he does a pinfall, will the ref even count? Or is that just a DQ instantly? Like no.
Stare at him.
Oh my gosh. This is
He'll stare at him until he stops pinning him.
When a Byron never kicks out.
They're just gonna sit there and stare at him for 6 years.
Wow. A referee's allowed to like substitute like one referee referees like the first like year, and then the other referee could come in and referee the next year, or is it one referee the whole 6 years?
One does it for the whole 6 years.
What if his contract is up in those 6 years?
Too bad. You're in the match.
All right, I guess we gotta get back on track. But let's talk about this Masked Man. That's been showing up around recently. We don't know who he is. Obviously they did this before. Theory was the Masked Man for the Vision, and then it was revealed to be him. But now we have a new Masked Man. I've liked this so far. He's attacked Braun Breaker. He attacked Theory during his Chamber qualifying match, and then this week after the 6-man match, he attacked Logan Paul. So this kind of threw out. A lot of people had different theories about who the Masked Man was going to be. They were thinking at first it was Logan Paul, but obviously that doesn't make sense now since he was there, went inside one of the weeks, and then obviously he got attacked, so it can't be him. We were thinking Adam Pearce because there's been dissension going on between like Pearce and the Vision, but he's also been there one of the weeks, so it can't be him. And then a lot of people have been saying Grayson Waller, and I actually am a fan of that theory since Austin Theory and Grayson Waller were a tag team before Austin Theory came back. And, maybe they could say something like Austin Theory abandoned him and didn't, like, come back and help him type of thing. And I'm pretty into the idea of Grayson Waller being a babyface. I think it could work pretty well. He's a really good heel. And I think he could work really well as a face. I think it would be huge for his career if he could be involved in this. Because obviously then I was thinking Jericho, but as we've seen, it can't be fucking Jericho now, even if it wasn't. But there's no chance it is Jericho. Obviously Seth Rollins is the biggest one since, he's using the stomp. And Seth wants revenge on the Vision, so we're wondering if that injury that he has, like, if the timetable was a turn quicker than we think. I actually don't think it's Seth. I think if it was Seth, he would have just come back. I don't think he would have done this Masked Man gimmick. I'm into the idea of it being Grayson Waller. I think that being a babyface could work really well, and I'm pretty entertained by that. But yeah, who do you think the Masked Man is, and what do you think of the storyline so far?
I've liked. It's interesting. A lot of people are kind of over it, and I am too a little bit. But I kind of like it. I thought we were going to get a reveal on Raw this week, but it didn't. It didn't happen. I'm still thinking it's Grayson Waller.
Yeah, that sets up a lot of stuff for Grayson Waller too. Like the New Day stuff out of it can maybe the New Day turns face from that. Like Xavier and Kofi can like be backup to Grayson Waller and everything like that. Like maybe at first they're pissed that they didn't tell him about it, but yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with that. So then we have this feud going on. We kind of talked about this already, but we'll talk about it again with our Grande Americanos. They've continued that feud from the Rumble. The original's been costing the fake one matches. And like we said, it's really cool. Like in America, the original's the babyface and the fake one's the heel. But in Mexico, the fake one's the babyface and the original's the heel. And they did some creative stuff in Mexico. Like the original took his place like in that like Reina de Reinas tournament, and now he's going to be in the tournament himself. And the original's been costing the fake one matches. Like he cost him a shot at the Intercontinental title. He teamed up with Javon Evans recently and faced Rayo and Bravo. I'm still waiting. I want to see the Creed brothers be the original Rayo and Bravo. I think that'd be pretty funny. But it doesn't seem like they're gonna go that path. But I'm into this. How do you like this El Grande Americanos, Youth? I think it's been awesome.
Great. I think it's going to be pick up pretty fast. I like it.
I imagine because we didn't really predict this. I think they're actually going to keep the Ludwig one like as the Grande Americano. I think he's done. He took that gimmick into wonder and did wonders for it. I think he should stick with that gimmick because that's the most over he's been with the career. Because I think if Gable loses the match, he'll be able to recover from it easier because he's pretty entertaining himself as it is anyways. And I think Ludwig it's just that's just been the most over he's been in his career. I feel like if he loses the mask, they won't push him as well. I think Gable would be able to get a better push if he loses the mask. What do you think? Or do you think they're gonna have Chad Gable stay the Grande Americano?
I don't even know like what direction they're going in that way, but it's going to get very interesting for sure.
Then continuing, we finally got Natalia to become Natty. Obviously Natalia's been Natty Neidhart in the Indies, and she's been like this ruthless like MMA submission fighter recently, and we've been wanting that to cross over to WWE. And we finally got it. She cost Maxine Dupree the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and they've been kind of feuding recently, because obviously they were the Dungeon Dolls together. The feud's been pretty interesting. They did a stupid double countout finish that didn't really make any sense, and then Natty didn't win the Chamber qualifier, but again, she didn't get pinned, so that's fine. And then Maxine Dupree attacked Natty like after the match. So I'm interested in it so far. There's things I would have done differently. Like I would have had Natty just obliterate Maxine and not do that stupid double countout finish. But obviously, Triple H just couldn't help himself there, I guess. But yeah, I'm liking Natalia becoming Natty. I hope we get more of it. We haven't gotten much of it because I think there's just too much other stuff going on right now. But I hope maybe after media season picks up, we get more of it. But what do you think of Natalia becoming Natty? I'm pretty interested in it so far.
Too. This is a change that has been needed. She's been so stale as Natalia. She started doing this on the NWA and AAA, and now I'm for Bloodsport. Now I'm happy that she's bringing it to the WWE circuit now.
Jay Cargill finally had her first title defense. She held the belt 100 days and did defend it at all, and finally defended it. She beat Jordan Grace, so that's good. Maybe defend it a little bit more. They'll just show up and not defend the title. That'd be nice, but we'll see what happens. What do you think of this?
It's about time, and we'll see who she faces because Liv still has to decide. But looks like it's gonna be Stephanie, and the field is kind of wide open on SmackDown. It seems like it might be Charlotte or someone over there.
Yeah, I think maybe Tiffany again. Get that rematch going since she wants revenge for losing the belt, but we'll see. Also, the women's tag division's right hot. Rio has been doing really well as champions. I've been really into the run as champions. They defended the belts a few times. They did defended them against Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan at Saturday Night's main events. Then again against Julia and Kiana James, and now they're defending them against Lash Legend and Nia. But we have a lot of other teams, including, like I mentioned, we have Bayley and Lila. Unfortunately, the Bellas are back. They're going to be a part of this women's tag division. And unfortunately, I think the match at Mania is probably going to be Riho versus the Bellas, which I don't think anybody wants. It's outside the Bella, fan army, I guess. But I don't want that. I think that's a waste of the women's tag belts. I would have rather seen a multi-person match, maybe a TLC tag. But because the Bellas are in it, they're not going. There'll be no TLC tags. There'll just be a safe tag match because the Bellas probably don't want to take bumps like that. But whatever. I like the women's tag division. I just would have. I'm a little hesitant about it because now that the Bellas are back and want to be a part of it, and now they're face again, and they're gonna totally turn and fucking heel when that happens. So it's just get over it. What do you think of the women's? I like it to a degree. Just get the Bellas out of there. What do you think of it?
Yeah, get the Bellas out. Awful decision.
Get the turn heel totally, and
oh yeah,
it's gonna be the most.
It's obvious.
Yeah, we haven't even seen them the last 2 weeks. They've been this. They vanished. Yeah, just get out of there.
So it's like they've been shut up since Philly.
Yeah. And like they did a promo segment that didn't tie into anything. It was just they said they wanted to go after the tag team championships, and no one interrupted them or anything. They just and they're like and the Bellas are faces now for some reason. Even though Nikki was like a heel for like during the last bit of her run and everything like that, and it's just
it's weird.
yeah. I guess because they figured Brie would get a good reaction, which is like whatever. So it's like I don't know. And then they've also been building like what brand Obafemi should sign with because he's been obviously both on Raw and SmackDown. We just got vignettes from him in the beginning, but now he's starting to show up on the shows a lot more. He obliterated the War Raiders before they could have a match, and then he squashed Kit Wilson, and like you said, Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis are trying to sign him to either Raw or SmackDown. Nick Aldis kind of got the ball rolling, and unfortunately, he kind of fucked over Kit Wilson by acting like the school principal and like reading like the poem that like Kit Wilson wrote about Oba. So now Kit's got to like deal with that, and then like Adam Pearce said they gave him a better contract. So I think he's gonna go to SmackDown. I think. I wouldn't mind if he went to Raw, though, because there's a lot of people he could wrestle on Raw. I think either brand will work. I think he could be a huge babyface, like, on SmackDown. But it'd be kind of cool if he went to Raw. He could be, like, that opposing force that, like, rivals Gunther or something like that. But either one is fine with me. How do you feel about what Obafemi's doing on the main roster so far? And, what brand do you think he'll pick?
I think at the end of the day, I think it might be Raw, because it looks like Riz Keys is going to SmackDown. So I think Raw would be best, and Raw kind of needs him.
Yeah. I don't know if he's a face or a heel yet, though. It seems like he's more a face because like he's been feuding with Kit, and Kit's a heel, but like he beat up the War Raiders in their face, so I don't know. Again, it's kind of back to NXT. We don't know what he is because like his crowd reaction's so good that like you don't even like know what his. Maybe we'll have a more clear path of that. How do you feel about Nick Aldis like ratting out Kit Wilson and like reading the poetry to him and everything like that? Did you like that, or do you think that was kind of mean for Nick Aldis to do that?
It's awesome.
Isn't that kind of toxic? You think though, or do you think that was?
It is very toxic.
And you're okay with that?
It can be done a little bit better.
Okay.
A little bit nicer.
Then we have the U.S. Championship. That's been booked really well on SmackDown, I think, since like the fall. You know, we've had a lot of U.S. Open challenges. Carmelo Hayes has been doing wonders with that championship. He's defended it against Shinsuke. He's defended it against Leon Slater, Ray Phoenix, Johnny Gargano, Ilya. He hasn't defended the last couple of weeks, but he's still been on the shows. I think they want to have him rest his body up, but he's still wrestling. Like, he defended against The Miz, and he didn't think The Miz deserved the title match. And then they had a big 10-man tag with the MFTs, where Tama Tonga got the pinfall on Carmelo Hayes. And they've been kind of teasing, like, Tama Tonga is going to go after the U.S. title, because when Ilya was champion, they, like, teased that match, but then Carmelo won the belts. So it seems like maybe Tama Tonga is going to be the next U.S. champion, which I think would be cool. But how do you think about I think the U.S. title has been like one of the best booked titles on all of WWE programming as of late. How do you feel about it? Do you think it's like the worst booked title in all of WWE programming?
I think it's been booked okay. Nothing too special.
And then the Wyatts and the MFTs have continued their feud. The MFTs have the tag titles now, and the Wyatts have been kind of like going after them. I think that's been good. It feels like we haven't seen much of the Wyatts recently, but like they've been kind of like, creeping out the MFTs recently, I imagine. Because like the MFTs also still have the lantern and everything, but I think that's been okay. Nothing special.
Yeah, I agree. Also, too.
And unfortunately, Johnny Gargano, he's kind of he's in a sad depression right now. Everything was going good for him. He had the Mask of Axiom, and that was kind of giving him life and everything like that. But unfortunately for him, He lost the match a couple weeks ago, and now he doesn't have a tag partner or anything like that. So he's been very depressed. He's been just sitting down, like on production crates during the Super Bowl. All he did was just lay down on the counter and depressed. Him and Candice like went on vacation, and he just sat in the pool depressed. He's a very depressed man, and Candice LeRae is trying to get like Motor City Machine Guns, more specifically Alex Shelley, to kind of like up a spirits up again. But Johnny Gargano says that mask was everything to him. So poor Johnny, I feel bad for him. He's just so depressed right now. He's got nothing. How do you feel about this? Do you feel bad for him, or do you think he deserves this?
Pretty heartbreaking, actually. Poor guy.
I know. He just all he does is
Poor
just
guy.
all he does is just he couldn't even enjoy the Super Bowl this year. He just laid down depressed on the counter.
Just like he's like, why do I even live anymore? What's the point of living?
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Oh man, heartbroken for him.
I hope we get like a big babyface run out of this. Like he goes back to the Johnny Gargano that he was like in NXT and everything like that, and he becomes like that big babyface out of this. Or do you think he's just gonna be depressed the rest of his career?
For the rest of his career.
Do you think he's? Do you notice? I'm gonna point this out. This is kind of right after Ciampa lost the TNT title. He's been set. Maybe he's depressed for knowing Ciampa's career is gonna go downhill in AEW. Do you think that's what it is, or do you think it's nothing to do with that?
I think it has everything to do with that. He couldn't handle it.
So, and then I figured we kind of do a little bit of a state of the address, kind of talk. We've had some call ups recently, so I figure we'll talk about how the call ups have done since they've come to the main roster. Still kind of early, but we can still talk about it. I think Trick's done exceptionally well. He's mixed it up with all the big main eventers, like with Randy Orton, Trick Williams, and every. What the hell did I just say? He's been mixing it up with himself, I guess. Apparently, Trick Williams mixing it up with Trick Williams. Oh my gosh, that's it's weird. But no, he's been mixing it up with Sami Zayn, and he's about to qualify for the Chamber. I think Trick's done really well on the main roster so far. I imagine he's going to have a big match at Mania. Maybe he'll face Damian Priest or something. But how do you think Trick's done on the main roster? Do you think he's done well, or do you think he's done terrible?
Really good for himself. I'm really looking forward to see what he can do.
And then Javon's done really well. He's had a lot of big moments. Again, like he had a really good performance in the Rumble. He was the Iron Man. He had that good moment where he got to do like the OG cutter to one of the Americanos that got a lot of clicks, and then now he's in the Chamber. So I think Javon's done real well. Do you think he's done real well, or do you think he's done terrible?
I think Javon's done pretty damn well, and now on top of it, going to the Elimination Chamber where he's gonna be the showcase.
And then Obafemi's done well. It's still kind of early for him. He's kind of just starting out. Obviously a lot of it was just vignettes, but now we're actually seeing him in the arenas. I imagine like once he really gets going, he'll do real well. But again, it's still kind of too early because he hasn't really done too much yet.
Yeah, I agree.
Jordan Grace has done okay. She would kind of feud it with Jade Cargill. That's kind of still early too, because again, that I imagine she'll be in the Chamber, but I feel like we'll have to wait and see what they kind of do with Jordan Grace like afterwards. What do you how do you think Jordan Grace is done? I feel like it's still too early.
It's still too early to tell, but it looks like she's getting into a feud with Jade Cargill for the title, so yeah, that could be really interesting.
And then and that's all the NXT call-ups. Then we're going to talk about Kit Wilson's new character. This is funny. He thinks everyone's toxic. And, he thinks Matt Cardona's toxic. He thinks Obafemi's toxic. I think Kit Wilson's done really well for himself. Obviously he has a new theme music now, which I think is great. It's really over. And I like Kit Wilson. What do you think of Kit Wilson? Do you think he's done? Do you think he's do you like his character? Do you absolutely hate his character?
I think it's good. I think it's going to get him over eventually. Not eventually, it's over right now, but like babyface type of over pretty soon.
Yeah. And then Chelsea Green unfortunately got hurt. She got hurt during the Elimination Chamber qualifiers, so she broke her foot. She still might be on television, but obviously not doing anything. But yeah, this kind of sucks. But I feel like they're gonna still keep her on television. It seems like Imagine not every week, because she probably can't travel every week, but I imagine she'll be, like, maybe anywhere she doesn't have to, like, fly or, like, do any extensive traveling. But, yeah, this sucks when Chelsea Green got hurt. What do you think of this?
Um, it kind of came at the wrong time, and not that injuries happen like planned out, but like she was AAA mixed champion, mixed tag team champion with Ethan Page, and she was really excelling in that role as United States champion too, also, and it just kind of sucks that she suffered this injury. She's going to be out a while, so that kind of sucks, but you gotta keep moving along.
Yeah. But that's all the main roster things. Anything else main roster you want to talk about? I think the main roster's been pretty solid. It's been pretty okay. Huh?
We covered it all.
Yeah. And then let's talk about NXT, which has been pretty solid also. We have a new NXT champion now. Obviously, Obafemi vacated his title, so they needed to crown a new champion. They did a ladder match. They had a bunch of qualifiers for it, and the ladder match was pretty damn awesome. Kind of showcased like the main event scene of what's going to take over NXT now with Shiloh Hill, Keanu Kava, Joe Hendry, Jackson Drake, Ricky Saints, at least for this time period. And shockingly, Joe Hendry won the belt. I was kind of thinking Ricky Saints was going to win the belt, but they gave it to Joe Hendry. And he's been a pretty good NXT champion so far. He's defended the title once against Jackson Drake. And I'm interested to see what he does. I think he's really over. I think it makes sense to go with him as NXT champion. How do you feel about Joe Hendry winning the NXT championship? Or do you think they should have gone with somebody else?
One, he was the most well known, and I feel like that was the right move.
And then also something else that's shooken up NXT. The week of the Rumble, Ava didn't her contract expired and she didn't resign. She posted on Instagram that she was not resigning with NXT. This obviously came as a shock because obviously The Rock is on the board of TKO. She figured she would have stuck around for a while. She has been with WWE for years. Not really sure what led to this decision. Maybe she just wants to go do something else. A lot of rumors went out there because her girlfriend, Tatiana Dumas, got released shortly before this. This made her not want to stay. Maybe she just wanted to go do other things. So this kind of shook up NXT a little bit because now Robert Stone at the moment is the new general manager. He's not the general manager, but he's the interim general manager. Maybe they're just going to try him out to see how he does, and if it sticks, he'll just stay the GM, or maybe they have something else bigger in mind. But he's done well so far as general manager. His role at the moment is he's like the new guy in charge who's trying to make everything right with everybody else. But I've enjoyed his run as interim general manager. Obviously, this because he got this new role now, his role in just wrestling has changed because originally he was in TNA as part of the Diamond Collective with Tessa, Victoria Crawford, and Mila Moore. He's obviously away from that now because that was too heelish for him. It wouldn't really make sense for him to do that and be the GM. And he used to do a commentary for Evolve. Last week was his last show, so now Blake Howard's going to take his position, which makes a lot of sense. So how do you feel about this? Ava leaving WWE and Robert Stone being the new interim GM and his roles changing and everything like that.
I like it. I thought Ava did a good job. Obviously, she was trained to wrestle. She got hurt 50,000 times, and she decided to become the GM. And for all the hate that she got online for being a nepo baby, and she is, I thought she did a pretty good job. As kind of that face authority figure. And now I think Robert Stone is in that role now as the face authority figure because, as you could tell, as you could kind of see the past 2 weeks, he's kind of leaning more face. And I kind of like that. And I think he's going to do a great job.
Do you think it's going to stick? Do you think they had him be the interim, and they're gonna try it out to see how it works, and if it fails, they'll just bring in somebody else? Or do you think, you know, like he's gonna stay the GM like permanently?
I think he might stay the GM permanently.
Yeah, we'll see how it works. And then Ethan Page broke some records recently. This past week on NXT, he retained his North American title, and now he's the most defended North American champion. He has the most title defenses. I think this is awesome for him. I think the way Ethan Page has been used since he's come to WWE has been excellent. He's been really good for NXT. I love that he's on every show, and some weeks he doesn't do that much, but he's at least on television every week, directing storylines and everything like that. But how do you feel about Ethan Page breaking the record of the now he's the most defendingest North American champion?
I like it. He's been a great North American champion. He defends all the time. He's had a great run. I'm excited to see what he does in the future.
Seems like too they're setting up this like he's not in the Vanity Project, but they're like his lackeys now and everything like that. It seems like a big group's being set up with like, I would like if they do this, but they're probably not, like Ethan, Ricky, and the Vanity Project, because they've been setting up an alliance with like Ethan and Ricky, and then obviously Ethan's been like, the Vanity Project have been kind of Ricky's lackeys. Do you think they're setting up a big faction there, or do you think they're just gonna like have, or do you think they're all just gonna be buddies like on the road and everything like that?
I feel like it's going to be a faction.
But we'll see what happens. And then something unfortunate I think you don't want to talk about, but we're going to talk about it anyways. Zaruka's friendship's in trouble. This has been building for a little while now, where Zarya has been upset that Zaruka seems to be getting all the opportunities. She was upset that, Zaruka went to the Rumble and didn't tell her about it. They had the Knockouts tag title match that obviously they lost due to some miscommunication. And then they had a match last week where it was like a tag match. It was Red QCC versus Zaruka, and whoever got the pin would get the title match. And Zaruka kind of stole the pin from Zarya, so Zarya was upset about it. She originally wasn't gonna help Zaruka like doing the face off with JC Jane, and she ended up helping her anyways, and said that the only way for them to go back to normal is if Zaruka wins the title. So that match is happening next week. Kind of unfortunate. I've enjoyed the build up to it so far, and I think they're gonna have a really good feud. Like once they break up, and it'll get Zarya back to that monstrous like figure. Just don't really think there's a reason to bring them break up. I think they've been pretty over as a team, but it is what it is. So overall, it's relatively fine. I've enjoyed the slow burn of the storyline. They've been building into this for quite a while. I think since like Gold Rush when Zarya lost the North American title on behalf of Soul. It's been kind of building since then, but yeah, it's been pretty decent. I just kind of don't really think they really need to break up. But how do you feel about this?
I think Sean legitimately hates tag teams. Any tag team that has any prominence, he wants to break them up instantly.
Yeah.
It's an over tag team. I don't get it why he just can't fucking stop breaking up tag teams. And they wonder why the women's tag team division is so thin. Is because some of the teams they could be using are fucking no longer a thing anymore. It's frustrating.
I mean, not just the women's, but the men's also. They because every tag team they get treated there. Also, really disappointed because they could have done some like Zaruka could have won the Knockouts tag titles, and like that would have helped boost TNA's ratings because they would be on TNA, for a few weeks at least and everything like that. I still don't get why it was for the Knockouts belts. Why didn't they do the women's tag belts? Because then we could have gotten Riho versus Zaruka before they broke up. That would have been awesome, but whatever. But yeah, I figure we'll do some discussions for next week's NXT because that's a pretty loaded show. I'll kind of talk about how we got to these matches. We're getting Zaruka versus JC Jane for the women's title. I imagine that's going to main event the show. The build up to that's been pretty solid. They had a good promo segment this week. I imagine Zarya's totally costing Soul the title. Do you think that's what's happening? Do you think they're gonna have Soul win?
I think they're gonna have her cost her because it's Sean,
Yeah. And
and
then
everything he does is predictable.
we have the NXT tag title match. It's gonna be Dog States, Osiris Griffin, and the other guy. It's the guy that was a DPW with Javon Evans. Shaquan Sugars, that's who it is. Defending the belts against Swipe Right, who you like now. You can't believe it, but you like him. Brad Baylor and oh my gosh, I don't know why you just say Swipe Right. Of course, I had to suck and say the names, and I would kick it. It's Brad Baylor and it's the other guy you don't like. The guy you think is Riddle. What's that guy's name? So,
Folks,
yeah, Ricky Smokes. I like
Ricky retarded.
I like how you say you think he's Riddle, like you think Matt Riddle and Ricky Smokes are the same fucking guy. Like you think that's Matt Riddle. Like yeah, it's totally not the case, but whatever. Yeah, I think that match would be good. You know, I don't know. I'm not a big Foxy fan, but I like Shaquan Sugars. Osiris Griffin, I could take a lead, but Swipe Right's awesome. I would love it if Swipe Right won the tag belts, but that's probably not going to happen. Kind of surprised they did Swipe Right, you know, because they're both heel teams, and you know, I figured they would have gone with like Hank and Tank. But how do you feel about this match coming up? I think this match would be good.
I think this match will be fine. It's going to be pretty enjoyable to watch.
Then we have the other another title match. It's for the men's speed title. It's Jasper Troy defending against Ilya LaFleur and Eli Knight, not Ellie Knight. I don't know why I was going to say Ellie Knight. That's not even a, you know, but it's Eli Knight.
Knight, yeah.
No, not that guy, different guy. You know, the speed tournament kind of happened to build up to this. LaFleur and Knight made it to the finals, but then they wrestled to a draw. So now they're going to have a triple threat match where there's going to be a 7-minute time limit. You know, still don't care much for the speed belts. They're not really showcased very well. I feel like it's the same thing with the speed belts. They just do tournaments and like set up the speed matches that way. I kind of think they should do something different. At least this triple threat match would be something different, but I don't know how you're going to do a triple threat match in 7 minutes. And I feel like they're going to do the predictable thing where like Jasper Troy is going to get like a lot of offense like done to him, and then they're going to have him have like a monstrous comeback. I could do without that, but you know, I just think this belt needs to get off Jasper Troy and get on one of these either Knight or LaFleur. More preferably Knight, I guess, but yeah, I could take a leave for the speed title match. I could do without it. What do you think of this?
I think I really am gonna hate that Jasper Troy is gonna win, but I feel like that's the direction it's gonna go, and it's just not the right move at all.
Then we have Shawn Legacy versus Keanu Kava. I'm really looking forward to this. They face off on
Super Shawn Legacy.
That's right. They faced off on Evolve before. I'm looking forward to this. Keanu Kava has been on a tear. He's been destroying people backstage and just a monster. And Shawn Legacy, I think, is good. I'm looking forward to this. I think Kava's probably winning that, though. They want to build him up as like a big monster. But you never know. What do you think? What do you think will happen here?
I think Keanu Carver's gonna win. Gonna build him up like a big monster.
You gonna be scared of this monster? Can you?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
He's pretty scary. And then Veterans Day is also coming up. They announced that last night. It's gonna be March 7th. We already have a couple of matches announced for it.
Bulls Day, yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention next week's NXT, by the way, because this is kind of big news. That was supposed to take place in Atlanta. But I heard like they redid like the parking lot, so like WWE can't even like put the production like trucks and like fit like any of that stuff like in the parking lot now. So they had to move it to Full Sail. I think that sucks. I was kind of looking forward to seeing them in Atlanta. Plus they haven't left. They've been kind of stuck in the PC recently. I kind of wanted to see them go on the road a little bit, and I thought that would have been a good path to that. But unfortunately, they got kind of fucked over there. What do you think of that? Do you think that sucks, or are you just kind of like whatever, just go to the PC?
But yeah, that kind of sucks because it's center stage in Atlanta too. It's that famous building too, so it kind of sucks that they got the boot there.
Yeah. But then Vengeance Day, I think that's at the PC too, right? Like which kind of sucks. A big PLE is going to be in the PC because they didn't announce it anywhere. We have a couple matches announced for that. It's going to be Joe Hendry defending his NXT title against Ricky Sage. I think this makes sense to go in this direction. They had a really good promo segment this past week. I'm looking forward to this. Are you looking forward to this, or do you completely not care?
I think it's pretty good.
And then I could do without Izzy Dame versus Tatum Paxley. I feel like we've seen this feud done for like years, and I feel like Tatum Paxley. No, Izzy Dame's just gonna particularly like retain a title. So can we just not do this and just pretend and say we did? What do you think of this?
Yeah, I'm done with Izzy Dame.
I think
just done.
I think you've been done with her since she started.
I just don't think she's good.
She's North American champion.
I feel like that heel turn was so insanely predictable.
Yes. Which was? You showed here like twice.
Both times.
Yeah. Here's something I am interested in, though. Tony D's new character. I really like this, where he's just an ass kicker now. He kind of break down his plan. He's like a vigilante now. He wants to take out Dog State, but he didn't really say what the other...
We know this.
Huh? Say that again? Uh-oh, I think I lost Chris. I'll just keep talking until we hear from him again. But yeah, I think Tony D, plan 1 is to take down Dog State, and plan B is going to be like, we don't know what plan B yet is. Maybe plan B is to get the restaurant back. We haven't seen him at the restaurant in a while, so maybe that's the plan B. But I'm really into Tony D. He's got a good start on his plan. He destroyed Cutler James, absolutely squashed him, and then almost broke Dion Lennox's ankle. So what's going on here? Hello? What the hell? How do I get out of here? All right, I'm going to be right back. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. Discord just decided to crash on me. Apparently, Discord says I don't have any friends because it says a new mascot joined. It says you have no friends. So that's pretty dark. That's kind of sad. Chris, apparently I don't have any friends.
Jesus Christ.
Say that again?
Jesus.
Yeah, no friend. I guess we're not friends, apparently, according to Discord.
Discord hates you.
I guess so. Are you my friend? Because now Discord's made me question a lot of things.
I wouldn't think so. Because Discord seems to be the boss. Discord seems to be the boss.
But yeah, let's go back to what we were talking about. We were talking about Tony D's new character. I kind of said that like he's he's become kind of a vigilante now. He lost everything, and he kind of went through like his plans. He said plan A is going to be to take down Dog State. And he's succeeded so far in plan A. He took out Cutler James and completely squashed him, and then almost broke Dion Lennox's ankle. But now we don't. He said there's a plan B, and he said we'll find out what that is shortly enough. I like Tony D so far, though. This is the gimmick that he should have had all along. I'm glad we're here. What do you think of Tony D's new gimmick and like his plans and everything like that?
I think he's been excellent so far. I really like this new gimmick. It adds another wrinkle to him that he didn't have before.
What do you think his plan is? Because he's gone through plan A. What do you think plan B is?
Destroy Dark State.
Well, that's plan A. We don't know. He said there's a plan B.
And we don't know what plan B is then either. Maybe that's plan A and plan B.
I said plan B is maybe getting the restaurant back, because he hasn't been at the restaurant in a while. Do you think that's plan B, or do you think something else would be plan B?
There could be that, or it could be getting Stacks back.
That's true.
Nah.
I'll let you talk about this.
Or Troy 2 times Donovan.
How? He's dead. He's sleeping with the fishes.
Maybe he wasn't fully fished out.
It's true.
Maybe he wasn't actually sleeping with the fishes.
Maybe maybe Cole Carter, his son, his twin brother, pulled him out and saved him. Maybe.
Eventually, brother. But then he said, "No, can do."
It'd be funny if they just brought somebody else in to be like Two Dimes. Like, not, it's been long enough where they could just bring a new guy to be Two Dimes. That'd be hilarious. I'd love it. I'll let you talk about this one, Chris.
Here he is.
Yeah, I'll let you talk about this one, Chris, because this kind of pissed you off. Jada Parker's going to be out for a while, I guess. I don't know.
So she had come back from injury, and it was maybe her second match back, and the dumb idiot sandbagged Blake Monroe on a suplex. So she got her up for the suplex. She didn't get her up for the suplex at all. And she goes to pick her up for the suplex, gets her a fucking centimeter off the ground because she was sandbagging her. And it looked like almost kind of like the Rampage.
Yeah.
But it was bad. And you could tell immediately something was wrong. And it turns out she has a neck injury. She's out for the foreseeable future. She fucking did it to herself.
Yeah,
it looks bad, like the whole thing.
Yeah. Blake Monroe is probably just gonna have to move on to something else. I imagine by the time Jada Parker comes back, Blake Monroe will be on the main roster and everything, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, she did this to herself, so whatever. Then Lola Vice and Kalani Jordan have continued their feud. They had a match a few weeks ago that Lola Vice won. And then doing the triple threat match for the North American women's North American title, Kalani Jordan interfered and smashed Lola Vice's hand with a ladder. Then she attacked her in the trainer's room a couple weeks ago. And now they had the match last night where Kalani Jordan made her tap out. This feud's been okay. I'm not really into Kalani Jordan as like a heel. And I wouldn't have had Lola Vice tap out. I feel like I would have just done like a pass out finish, but whatever. I imagine it's going to lead to NXT Underground again, which I think would be awesome. I enjoy NXT Underground. So, what do you think of this feud? I think it's been okay.
Leading into that match, but yeah, they have really good chemistry together. Yeah, it's going to be really good.
And then something else I forgot to put on here, but you sent me earlier. They're setting up like a new legacy type faction with Lexis Kin, Aliyah Connors, Stax, Ariana Grace, and they're trying to get Charlie Dempsey to join the faction. I think this is a solid idea. I kind of like a new legacy faction joining. Other than Stax, I'm a fan of most of these guys. I like Lexis Kin. I like Aliyah Connors from what I've seen of them. If they can get Charlie Dempsey, that would be cool. Obviously, the biggest thing I've heard about this is, David Finlay, Aliyah Connor's brother, might be signing with WWE, and if he could be, the leader of this faction, I think that'd be pretty cool, because, this faction, if they're setting this up, that kind of shows they already have a plan for David Finlay when he comes in, and this could be a big thing for him to come into and, lead this faction. Maybe, Charlie Dempsey will refuse to join the faction, and then, David Finlay will show up and attack him and join the faction himself. But I'm into this faction. A Stax really doesn't need to be here. The only reason he's here is obviously because he's marrying into Santino's family, so I guess that makes him qualify for this faction. But I feel like the ideas are in place. I just hope this faction can get booked pretty well. Because I think this faction could be a good thing for NXT. For the mid-card divisions and everything like that. What do you think of this new Legacy faction being formed? Do you like it or do you absolutely hate it?
I like it. Like I said to you earlier, I've never seen someone not fit a stable at all quite like Stax.
Yeah.
I'm like, he doesn't fit this at all.
I guess he's married into the family, so I guess that makes him fit. But I don't think he fits in this faction at all. No.
It's a family faction, and then you have someone who's the in-law. It's like kind of like how the Heart Foundation was, but like that fit.
Yeah,
This doesn't.
but I think the idea is solid.
I love the idea. I think the idea is great. I think it's a great idea. It's just I would rather it be someone that actually is a generation and
Yeah.
not fucking Stacks.
Do you think Charlie Dempsey's going to end up joining the faction? Because obviously that's the big thing of the story. Or do you think he's going to go babyface and then like that will lead to David Finlay? Not wait.
I think they could do that, or they just boot out Stacks.
Well, that's not going to happen because Ariana Grace is in the faction. So, but yeah, I think this is a solid idea. It kind of sucks. Chase U kind of broke up again out of this again. So,
Like, what the fuck? Again?
I'm gonna get yeah. You realize too, both iterations of Chase U, the big thing that's been about that tag team or like faction is the fact that like all they do is like tease a breakup ever. They're never a unit. It's all they tease a breakup, but whatever.
Constantly.
Also, another departure's happened. Kelly Kincaid's gone. They didn't renew a contract. Kind of whatever. She was a good addition to have. I imagine. I don't know if she just doesn't want to be there anymore because, like, her husband or boyfriend, whatever it is, like, it just had triple fusion neck surgery. So maybe she wants to stay home and like take care of him and everything like that. Or maybe she wants to go on and do other things. Wouldn't be shocked though if she showed back up in ROH, just like the interview and everything like that, because that's a very AEW thing to do, is to take someone that they love to take all the WWE like releases, more specifically sometimes for the ROH side of things, someone that really wasn't that big in WWE and like put him in ROH. So that could very well could happen because she was in ROH for a while. But what do you think of Kelly Kincaid being gone?
Whatever.
I mean, and then something else that's Chris and I have kind of talked about, the TNA and WWE partnership looks like to be in trouble because it's been very much kind of not a thing really on both sides for kind of a few weeks now. And I don't know what happened. It seems like it's been ever since they debuted on AMC because as I talked about in the TNA report, the first episode, they kind of dropped the ball pretty badly with the AMC premiere. But there was still the partnership going down because Zarya, like Zaruka were there, and then Zarya had the match at Genesis. But then it seems like it's kind of been a lot of nothing with the partnership. The only thing that's really happened is like Stacks and Ariana Grace have gone there, and the less said about that, the better. But no one's really come over from TNA. The only thing that's happened was the Elegance brand were there, like, defending the Knockouts tag titles, but it seems like once that was over, they kind of quickly moved on from it. So, I'm not really sure what's going on. Maybe WWE's upset that, like, TNA dropped the ball really badly since they kind of were the main reason. TNA got that, like, television deal and everything like that, so maybe, like, they want to, distance themselves a little bit and then maybe bring it back. Maybe it's like, sometimes the relationship's really hot, sometimes it's not, so maybe it's just not at the moment. But I don't know, this partnership's not looking too good because we haven't gotten anything from it. But what do you think of this partnership kind of going off the rails a little bit?
I felt like it was very promising in the beginning. But in my not fears, but like my worries with the partnership kind of came to light where it was like, minus the occasional appearance by an Obafemi or a Trick Williams, TNA got shafted with this partnership.
Yeah.
By having the constant jobbers over there to be their stars, I guess, is weird. It's like their representation. I just did not understand that. Like, it just didn't make any sense. And then the AMC AMC debut failed so fucking badly. It was horrible.
And that wasn't WWE's
And I
fault
think
either.
WWE kind of just they just kind of took it. They just kind of backed off a little bit.
Yeah. But I mean, they've been doing better recently. Maybe, you know, now that if TNA can get back on its feet, maybe WWE will kind of become hands on with it again. But also, too, a lot of top stars from TNA have left the company like recently that were kind of showing up on it, and then they couldn't use Leon Slater for a while because of he had visa issues. So you know, maybe and you know, a lot of the top stars in NXT that were there like really can't go to TNA because they're not really well known because you know Oba, Trick, and Javon got caught up all in one shot. So maybe NXT had to put the focus like back and focus on building a roster for themselves too. So it's kind of but yeah, the partnership's been kind of on eggshells kind of lately. So hopefully it can kind of get back on its feet. You know, because it was doing pretty well. Like last fall, last summer-ish, but now it kind of seems like it's you know, kind of on eggshells. But we'll hope it could get back on its feet. That's everything NXT related. Anything else you want to talk about with NXT, or did I cover everything?
No, I think we covered everything. It's only been a couple of weeks.
And then Evolve, buddy. You'll get to talk about Evolve and actually give thoughts on it. Evolve's been kind of weird. I've enjoyed Evolve though. The main storyline kind of going on right now is the WWE PC versus WWE ID kind of rivalry that's got going on. That's been kind of hit or miss. You know, they had that gauntlet match where Team PC like won a week of control of the whole show. And, you know, lately we've gotten some like PC versus WWE ID matches. The episode where WWE PC took over, let's not talk about that because that was pretty bad. You know, it was basically they just jobbed out WWID the whole episode. I still think it's hilarious that like there was a triple threat match on that episode, and like during the match, Cam Hendricks was like, "Oh, by the way, now weapons are legal," and I was like, "Dude, like it's a triple threat match. Weapons are legal anyways. What are you talking about, dude?" But whatever.
I've never seen someone in my life so charismatic and so bland at the same time.
Yeah. They kind of like had the ID get a big win when Jackson Drake retained his belt against Cam Hendricks, but now it seems like they're building because they did a promo last week, and it seems like that'll be one of the matches on Secession, where it's going to be like Team ID versus Team PC again, but this time it's going to be the match they should have had the first time, the traditional Survivor Series match or whatever it's going to be. Which is kind of weird though, because obviously it involves tape, so like a lot of the ID talent, I don't even think of ID talent right now, because I think Vanity Project have now signed with WWE. Now Sean Legacy has, so I don't know if they're gonna still keep him as like ID talent, but whatever. I imagine they're just gonna finally have ID get the win, and put an end to this. Because this the Team PC side of things is looking a little lacking. The only one I really care about in that department is Keanu Carver. And it doesn't even make sense for him to be in that faction. It seems like he should be doing his own thing, but whatever. Everyone else is kind of whatever. Brooks Jensen I like, but again, he doesn't need to be involved in this. I think it's Jeff.
He was on the one episode.
Yeah.
He hasn't been on since.
And then I think it's Holly Wiggins and I forget the other guy's name, but the extremely bland like tag team, the like big man type of thing. They're not really very. And then Cam Hendricks, like you said, isn't very interesting. His theme song is extremely generic, also. And then like I said, Keanu Carver is really the only one that really worth giving a damn on Team PC. Whereas Team ID, there's all talent across the world. You know, there's so many people in that part of the side of things to care about, and Team PC kind of. It's a joke, but other than that, what do you think of the Team PC, Team ID like program they kind of got? That's like the main story of Evolve recently.
Okay, like it is what it is. I do like the ID side. I think the ID side is much more talented.
Yeah.
I feel like that Team PC versus Team ID match was it was good, but the follow up was not very good. I felt like that show was almost completely unwatchable.
Right.
I remember I just skipped through it because I'm like I can't watch this. This is like this is unwatchable.
Yeah, because let's see, there was no entrances that night. All the graphics were like done by them. They had like Chewy Martinez like read a really weird like ad, and then like all the matches were weird. We had a triple threat match where midway through the match, Cam Hendricks forgot the rules of a triple threat match. He was like, "Oh yeah, you guys can use weapons." When I'm like, "Dude, they can use weapons anyways. Like, what are you talking about?" And then we have like Lady Luck versus I think it was P Nasty. I forget what her name is now. I think they had that match and she got like squashed. They had like Cappuccino Jones versus Brooks Jensen, where he had to have his arm tied behind his back. Cappuccino Jones, not Brooks Jensen. And then they had a handicap match where like they jobbed out Jackson Drake, and then midway through the match, Cam Hendricks was like, "Oh, and by the way, it's not just the." Oh, we didn't even talk about this. This didn't make any sense. Like a week before this, Cam Hendricks was like because they could have ran the show. Like honestly, that episode, if Cam Hendricks wanted to, he could have been the Evolved champion. But he was like, "You, Jackson Drake, you're gonna have a 3-on-1 handicap match, and then and then next week, he decided to wait till next week to have the title match, not after like he literally could have been Evolved champion if he like wasn't stupid. Like that was weird. Like."
Funny thing is too is that both Swipe Right were at ringside. I'm like, wouldn't you in theoretically, if you were in charge, wouldn't you have banned Swipe Right from ringside?
Yeah. Oh,
I was like, oh, so they're gonna get involved, and they did. So,
yeah, it was weird. And
I
then
was like, wow, so you're gonna have the pseudo baby faces like have two managers at ringside.
and Vanity Project aren't even baby faces either. I don't think. I think they still.
So that's why it's like that's like pseudo baby face. They're not really baby faces, but they're baby faces like in this sort of feud.
And then they did that weird stipulation where like they kicked out like most of ID except Shawn Legacy, and like they did that triple threat match where whoever took the pin had to like clean up the locker room. I thought it was supposed to be like that week, but then I guess it was like the next week, and then like Shawn Legacy had to like clean up the locker room, and then everybody else like went to help like clean. Like, what are we doing there? That's.
I was like, it was supposed to be Shawn Legacy, and the entire like ID program was like, "Hey, we got you back. We're gonna help you clean together." And I was like, "That's not the point of this."
It's only supposed to be Shawn Legacy
The
clean.
whole thing was supposed to be him doing it by himself.
Whatever. I don't know.
I thought which would have been like a funny like running gag they could have done was just like waited for Shawn Legacy to show up, and he just never showed up.
Yeah.
That's what I thought they were gonna do, and it'd been wicked funny. Like they kept trashing their own locker room, like throwing trash everywhere.
Right.
Like every time they would cut back, you'd see him throwing trash everywhere, and just like, where is Shawn Legacy?
Oh,
and like they just show like a camera to the parking lot, and he still hasn't shown up yet, and he just doesn't show up the whole show.
That'd be awesome.
And their locker room progressively gets worse.
Well, it would have been awesome if like he was in the janitor's outfit the whole night. They didn't even commit to that bit. He was like in his wrestling gear like the whole night type of thing. So
wrestling gear.
Whatever. Whatever. The feud's over probably soon. Like I imagine, like
I would think so. Coming out of Succession, yeah.
Once they have that Ted man, I imagine. And I imagine too, like Cam Hendricks, and like the that tag team is like going to be like irrelevant like after this feud's over. I think. I feel that they're gonna like never
should win everything. It's Gal.
He's awesome. I don't know if you've ever seen. You should watch one of the Evolved. He does like these like It's Gal like ratings, and he rated like the Ringmaster like as a great gimmick, but like Stone Cold like basically all the like attitude like the ruthless aggression like attitude of like gimmick like he loves the prototype but doesn't like John Cena. Like it's pretty funny actually.
I love It's Gal has like become one of my favorites. He makes me laugh all the time.
Yeah. I can't. It took a while for him to grow on me, but he finally did. Him and the Vanity Project finally have. I don't know if Jack Carwell's still with ID because he hasn't been the past few Evolve episodes, but like he's been in AAA recently, so I don't know if he left the program or if they just haven't booked him or what. But we'll see. Oh, I said to let you talk about it. I know it's been a few weeks now, but I don't know if you remember what happened. But do you want to say anything about the Timothy Thatcher, Charlie Dempsey match, or is it been too long for you to remember anything about it?
Remember a little bit of it. I mean, the match itself was outstanding. It was more of a technical style of match, a lot of holds, it was British wrestling. Um, it's been probably a few, like 3 weeks now,
Yeah,
maybe 4.
I wish it main evented.
But,
I remember it wasn't the main event. It was like middle of the show type of thing.
Stuff was great. Lots of unique wrestling holds, and if you have a chance to go and watch it, like go on Tubi and whenever I forget the exact date, but go and find it.
Yeah.
The match itself was great. If you like the sort of British wrestling like style, lots of exchanging holds, lots of unique technique that is not used in North American style of wrestling. So if you like, I recommend going and watching it because it was an awesome match.
I love the finish too. Dempsey had been like working over Thatcher's arm, and he finally put the armbar on, and he like tapped out like immediately to like get rid of the pain type of thing. Like Thatcher put over Charlie Dempsey like hugely. The only thing that's as much as I like Evolve, I wish that match had happened in NXT where like more people like would have seen it and everything, and would have gotten more showcase and everything like that type of thing.
See why they put it on Evolve, because they kind of wanted that like name recognition for that week's show.
I don't know if it would have worked because Evolve, as you can tell, I feel like it would. That match probably works better with like a small. Because even though it's in the PC, you can definitely tell Evolve has a smaller crowd and the setup's different. And that match probably works better in like an Evolve setting versus like probably NXT like setting type of thing. So kind of sucks. It was a one and done. I was hoping they'd do like, because we haven't seen Charlie or Timothy like on the shows like since then. So it kind of sucks that was like a one and done. It seems like. But other things, Evolve season is gonna have the season 1 finale. They didn't really announce anything big for it yet. I think that's 2 weeks, and then the following week is Secession. Secession looking like a good card so far. We have Jackson Drake's gonna defend his Evolve title against Cappuccino Jones, because Jackson Drake owes him a favor from Cappuccino Jones helping him retain the title. I mean, I know all the ID program helped him, but like more so, Cappuccino Jones did, because he hit the move that allowed him to win, type of thing. I think that match will be a barn burner. I think that's going to be excellent, and I'm thinking that they're going to finally give Cappuccino Jones the title, because I think the Vanity Project after Secession are going to fully be on NXT. I think. Because obviously, like we said, Evolve was filmed a while ago. I think they were all still in the ID program. But are you looking forward to that match? And do you think Jackson Jake retains, or do you think Cap gets the title?
Cappuccino Jones gets the title, and I think like now, because this is tonight is Blake Howard's first match time calling Evolve. So I think this is like maybe a live episode, but not really a live episode. But like, and then they're taping ones after this.
Yeah. And then this is kind of weird. Kendall Gray's defending the belt against PJ Vasa. This is weird. Kendall Gray's been defending the title recently. She beat Wendy Chu. She beat Kalami Petrovic. And then PJ Vasa just came out and says like, "I'll see you at Secession," and then the graphics showed up, so she didn't even do anything to get a title shot, and now she just has one.
She just said the magic words.
I imagine Kendall Gray's retained, and I feel like very soon Kendall Gray is going to be like mainly NXT, but I don't think she's going to lose the title to PJ Vasa, because PJ Vasa hasn't really done anything to like want the title like run. So I imagine they're just going to keep it on Kendall.
And also too, like Peter Rosenberg and at the time like Robert Stone were like making a big deal about Kendall Gray like defending her title. I'm like, when the fuck has that ever been an issue?
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh my god, she's so crazy for defending her title. Like, yeah, that's the point of a fucking champion.
I guess so. That match will probably be good, though. I think, PJ Voss has been pretty good. I imagine, like, this Kendo is going to mainly carry the match, though, because she's very good and everything like that. But what do you think of that match? Do you think that match would be good, or do you think it would be really bad?
It would be very mid.
That's fair.
Okay. Only because of Kendall Gray. So, and only Kendall Gray only.
Will Kendall Gray win, or do you think...
I think Kendall Gray should win. Will she? Probably not.
And don't be mad. I feel like you'll be mad
because I think they're both gonna lose their titles, Jackson and Kendall, and then be NXT full time.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it. Last Evolve thing. Like we said, Blake Howard's gonna be calling the show for the first time tonight. This makes sense to kind of get Robert Stone off of these, like have him just mainly be the general manager. How do you feel about Blake Howard taking over? Because we kind of talked about it last week a little bit. I'm excited for him. I enjoy his stuff. He's pretty decent on commentary when he does main event. I'm glad he's getting more opportunities because obviously because Level Up went away, so he doesn't do commentary for that anymore. The only time he does really anything for WWE is when announcing for Evolve or like the house shows when they do them, and commentary for main event. But I feel like this would be a good opportunity for him, especially because he gets to work with Peter Rosenberg, which is nice. How do you feel about Blake Howard taking over Robert Stone's spot? Are you completely against this and don't even want to talk about him, or are you completely for this and want all the opportunities for Robert Stone? Not Robert Stone, Blake Howard.
For Robert Stone now. Jesus Christ.
He has all the opportunities. It's Blake Howard's time. But how do you feel about this?
I like Blake Howard. The very little I heard of him in commentary, because he did 205 Live too, right at the end.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah. I think he did, yeah.
And I like him. I think he's pretty good. I've liked his ring announcing. I don't watch main event, but I've very, very little of main event that I've heard. He's pretty good. I like him. But yeah, I'm excited to for him to get going here, and I think he's gonna be very soon elevated onto the main stage pretty soon.
Yeah. I wonder if they're grooming him to like take over, because I imagine Vic will get called up like once Cole retires, or like once like if Joe Tessitore like left, Vic will be
I think Vic is going to take Michael Cole's spot and be the main commentator there, and
they obviously
Blake Howard will move up.
Yeah, because they haven't had anyone to like take Vic's place, because I don't know if you remember, there was a guy named Sudu Shah who did like Level Up and everything like that, and then he left, and then I think it's just been basically it's been like a consistent like rotation. Like I think Blake has been the one that's like stuck. I think Blake's been there longer than you think too. He's been there since like. Because I remember, like you said, he did 205 Live. That's been over since, like, I think 205 Live was canceled in 2022. Like, Blake's been there forever, if you think about it, type of thing, too. I do wonder what the dynamic will be like with Blake and...
2021?
Yeah. I wonder what the dynamic will be like with Blake and Peter, though, because they'll both be play-by-play. Because Blake wrote on his Instagram that he's going to be the play-by-play guy. I don't think that's going to be the... Like, I think Peter's the play-by-play guy, clearly, on Evolve, unless they're going to change it, and Peter will... like basically be in the Robert Stone spot, but be interested to see what happens. I want to do the win announcing because it was Blake, and obviously they don't have, because like you said, if this is the first like taping, what's like sort of live, it's not gonna be Kelly. I wonder if it'll be Sarah. So
hey?
Maybe it's you. You don't know where you are.
It'd be me.
You could be at the PC. But I also have a theory. I think you might be the masked man. And I do have some claims to back up that theory, because you did mention at the Rumble you were unavailable, and what a coincidence, the day you're unavailable, this fucking masked man shows up. So I'm just saying, man, you might be the masked man. You're not denying it either.
That could be. You don't know.
What do you have against Ron Breaker and Austin Theory and Logan Paul? What do you have against all of them? They didn't do anything to you. Um, you know.
It's interesting. I don't know.
But yeah, let's continue talking. We have two last things to break down. I'll kind of talk about the first one. It's the WrestleMania 36 tickets drama. So obviously this has been kind of coming out since after the Rumble. WrestleMania 36 obviously wasn't selling too well because the tickets were a little bit overpriced than normal. Because that's been a kind of a consistent thing since TKO has taken over. So they had to offer like a 25% discount, which I think brought them back to like the normal pricing. And
We're going back in time to WrestleMania 36.
and that's funny too. There wasn't even a fucking. I wasn't. That was the Mania with no fucking fans either. So like, no, obviously so no one. So no, WrestleMania. It's not WrestleMania 36. It's WrestleMania 42. Ticket sales. But anyhow, overall, I guess good that WWE finally lowered the prices. Obviously, there's gonna be people that go out there and say like that they couldn't sell the venue out the first time around, so they had to lower the prices. They're obviously trying to change up the cards and everything like that. Triple H is getting some flack for not putting off good ideas and stuff to make WrestleMania marketable, but whatever. I just kind of see it as drama. I pay attention to it, and it happens. Maybe just next year. I guess not next year because it's in Saudi, but like maybe just don't make the Mania tickets like so egregious where like people can't afford to go. Keep them normal prices. Because that's one thing that has sucked about the TKO. Going to a wrestling event now costs so much money. When I went to Raw for Cena's last Raw in Boston, I paid like $300 just for the balcony seats alone, which was kind of a little bit egregious. So hopefully, I think what it is TKO like spent so much money to buy WWE. They want to get their money back and want to get their investment back. So they're trying to charge the shows so much, but hopefully that can end soon because I think it's time to chase away some of the wrestling fans from even like wanting to go to wrestling shows because again it's so much money. So hopefully that can stop. But what do you think of the WrestleMania 42, not 36, ticket drama and everything like that?
I don't care. Everyone just keeps making a big deal about it. Who gives a fuck? If you're going, you're going. You're not, you're not. Who cares? I don't.
Yeah.
They do this all the time. There's always ticket sales. There's always bulk ticket sales. It happens every fucking year. It happened under Vince. It's happening under Triple H. It happens all the fucking time. People making a big deal out of nothing.
And I know you wanted to rant about something because we've been ranting about it all week. There's Wrestling Observer Awards came out last week. Figured I'd let you talk about it, because it has to do with the WWE and everything like that. Why don't you talk about how the great Wrestling Observer Awards and everything like that, how good they were.
Well, they were great. If you were an AEW shill, it's great. Because they just, all think that's a hive mind. They all think the same. Anything that's positive is won by AEW or CMLL or New Japan. And anything that is negative is won by WWE, AAA, or TNA. And it's kind of ridiculous if you think of it, that everything positive is it's sunshine and butterflies, woo, all the time with that cult. That's what it is. It's what it is at this point in time. It's a cult.
Yeah.
If you don't think the same way as them, if you don't listen to everything they say, you get called every name in the book.
Yeah, this was kind of
ridiculous.
Yeah, this was ridiculous. And look, I'm not saying WWE like had all positives last year. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say they should have won Promotion of the Year because they definitely don't deserve that. But like, the fact that WWE got like voted, like everything negative just was insane. When you saw what the top contentions were for like promotions of the year, it was all things that were affiliated with WWE, whether that was GCW, TNA, or AAA. What that really didn't make sense was NXT winning worst show of the year. That doesn't make sense at all. NXT was like the best show out of all the promotions. I don't know what the hell show you were watching if you thought NXT was the worst show of the year. If anything, it probably should have been Collision, because that's not even really, that just takes place in a dead zone and everything like that. But whatever.
Why NXT won worst show of the year? It's because it's competing against, what is it? Their Boo Boo, All Elite Wrestling.
Yeah.
And it wins every single fucking week. No matter what, without fail. AEW has maybe won 3 times in the past year. Woo! Congratulations!
Yeah.
Do you know what now? Fuck them. Because it really shows, because NXT has put on a great product, but that other side, the cult, can't handle it. So anything that was positive for WWE was a negative.
But even the positive, the one positive WWE won doesn't even make sense. It was like John Cena won, I think, like promo of the year or something. He didn't win promo of the year. He won something of the year that was like
most charismatic.
But that doesn't make sense, because then the worst like book decision was John Cena's heel one. And like, how does that even make any sense? Because most of his promos this year was when he was a heel. So how could he have won, like, most charismatic if most of his promos this year was when he was doing that terrible heel one? That doesn't make any sense. The
funniest one was Bryan Danielson winning Announcer of the Year. Of the year! And he was only on commentary for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Of the year! The year! Not of the 3 months, of the year.
I mean, I'm not saying that AEW deserves to, like, not win some of the positives. Like, I'll give them some. Like, maybe the Jon Moxley, Heyman, Adam Page match was probably match of the year. They can have that one. Actually, no, that was feud of the year, not match of the year. The match of the year was Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd. I'll give them that one. Like, if they want to have that one, fine.
AEW should win some of them, rightfully so. But not all of the positives.
Yeah.
Because the fucking show itself wasn't all positive.
Right. And again, I wouldn't be this mad either if, like, WWE, like, it seemed like everything negative was, like, voted for or, like, in contention, like, WWE side of things. Which is...
And the thing is, too, the Observer Newsletter Awards would be taken more seriously if the cult actually used their fucking eyes and looked at the product.
Yeah.
And looked at it through an unbiased lens. But they can't. They cannot do that.
And then, look, even though we're doing a show by WWE Aftershock, and sometimes we're big WWE fans, I'll say WWE definitely would, if it was WWE wouldn't have won Promotion of the Year this year. Definitely not. But, like...
See, and the thing is, too, we criticize WWE because they deserve to be criticized.
Yeah.
When something sucks in WWE, we say it sucks.
Yeah.
We just don't watch and go, this is the greatest thing that ever existed every week. This is the greatest segment ever. This is the greatest match ever. This is the greatest this ever. The greatest promo. The greatest guy to walk down the aisle. The greatest guy to stand in the ring. The greatest guy to put his arms up on the top rope. Every week, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. This is the greatest this, is the greatest that. But they can't look through it through an unobjective lens. They can't watch Dynamite and be like, this sucked, that sucked, that sucked. Everything's perfect, everything's awesome, everything's great. Whereas on the WWE side of things, it's like we watch the product and we go, okay, that segment sucked, that segment sucked, that segment sucked, that match sucked, that promo sucked.
I mean,
be better, do better.
Yeah. Because if you think the opposite, I would recommend. There's some weeks where Chris will even say, "Get the book away from Triple H." That's how much he criticizes the product sometimes. So,
WWE mark you will ever see. I started watching in the late '90s. I know wrestling. there are times when I watch the show and I'm like, I can't stand this booking. Please take the book away from Triple H. And then there are weeks where I'm like, okay, this is really good. And then there are weeks where it's like, what the fuck is going on? Get the fucking book away from him.
Yeah.
When Triple H deserves praise, he deserves praise. And he also should be heavily criticized.
Right. Yeah, I feel like right now, one of the more, when it comes to Triple H, he definitely deserves it. I definitely think his booking has slipped. Not to the point where a lot of people want him fired, but I definitely think his booking has definitely slipped, I would say. I think it started, like, probably once the Cena turn happened, I think his creative booking, like, slipped kind of after that and everything like that. That was probably when it, like, started. WrestleMania 41, I think, was, like, the exclamation point. More specifically, like, night 1 and then, obviously, the main event of night 2. Like, then I think, but again, I think Triple H definitely does some good things. You know. Some of it, too, is not just Triple H, it's TKO. They haven't helped WWE last year. Like, if anything should have won Promotion of the Year last year, it was clear. It definitely was TNA. The fact that it was voted like one of the worst. You know, it didn't win, but it was in contention to be one of the worst promotions last year. I don't know how you look at TNA's year last year and that they were like one of the worst promotions type of thing. But whatever. You know, I feel like the rest of them I feel like, too, what kind of is weird is Dave Meltzer then said he didn't really see a lot of negative critiques towards his awards this year. And someone actually pointed in the comments, this is pretty right, because he fucking ignores all the critiques of the awards. He only looks at the positive ones. That's why he was saying that and everything like that. But whatever.
Positive. He's the biggest shill for AEW I've ever seen.
Yeah. So
the biggest shill. At any time something happens, it's the greatest thing ever.
Yep.
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing him on Twitter battling people on Twitter just because they have an opinion, and it's entirely unacceptable for a person of his standing to be battling with people on Twitter every week.
But whatever.
People fucking make fun of him for it. Like this entire fucking thing with Nick Lopodillo, I think is how you say it. The talent agent for Liv Morgan and everyone he's been on Twitter recently, like exposing Tony Khan. It's pretty awesome.
You have to send me that.
I will. It's actually pretty great. But it's like I'm so done with Dave and his cronies and this shitty Observer newsletter that just fucking go away. He's just a cranky old man, and I mean he got the name Dynamite Dave for a reason.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything that's in a positive is always AEW, and anything that's negative is WWE, and it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's the most biased newsletter ever, and anyone who fucking pays for that shit is an idiot, and anyone that pays for it is clearly on the other side, and no one's in the middle. Everyone's on the cult. They're in the cult.
Yeah, it's insane. But whatever, we'll end it there. Let's do some plugs and promotion. Anything you want to plug or promote before we get out of here?
I will. Right now, I have a plug. Right now, as I'm right now watching the Olympics, Go Team USA. They're on right now. It's the end of the first period. It's 0-0 between the U.S. and Sweden in hockey. So I hope they get the gold. Canada won today, so that sucks. But I think it's tomorrow is the Canadian women versus the U.S. women for the gold, and the U.S. women haven't given up a goal in like 5 games. So we've been dominant in that aspect. I'm pretty pumped to watch that tomorrow.
Nice.
But we are currently in medal contention right now. We don't have the most medals, but we're getting there. I hope we can get there pretty soon.
My dad told me.
We've been kind of.
on the slide recently.
My dad told me like
We
NHL.
have 24. We have 24 total medals right now.
My dad told me NHL.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
My dad told me like NHL stopped because of the Olympics and everything like that. Because they'll just
Yeah.
wait. So when that
At
comes,
least for the next like week or so.
when that comes back, are they gonna like? Are they gonna do the finals like when they normally would? Or does that get like pushed up because of the Olympics?
So what they did leading up, because they had 2 weeks off. So leading up to the Olympics, they did a lot of back-to-backs, and coming out of the Olympics, they'll crunch it together to get it coming out of the Olympics. They do it at every Olympics. Well, this is the first time that the NHL players have been in the Olympics since 2014.
Wow, that's a long
After
time.
2014, they let their contract lapse with the International Ice Hockey Federation. So for the 18 Olympics and the 22 Winter Olympics, they had college athletes and athletes that weren't in the NHL or under an NHL contract playing for USA and Canada and Finland and whatnot. But what they do is, since they're off for another week, and when they come back, it's going to be a really condensed schedule, really tightened up schedule.
Yeah, so that'd be interesting. But yeah, that's a plug for me. I told Chris this, and I'm hoping we can do this. We're not gonna do any retro, any like videos outside of Aftershock until Chris and I can at least do 5 weeks straight without of Aftershock. When we do it weekly. Just get 5 episodes out. Well, get 5 episodes out in a row weekly without any interruption. I think it's manageable. If we get 4, I'll let it slide because I have a feeling like 5 might be too much. But if we could get 5 episodes straight, this is the first episode right now. It almost didn't happen again because of that technical glitch. So if we could get 4 more episodes, that'd be great. But we'll see if that can happen. We're gonna bring back top 5, flop 5 at the moment for one thing. We're gonna rank. We're gonna do top 5, flop 5 WrestleManias. We're gonna rank all the WrestleManias. So because of that, I'm gonna watch every WrestleMania. I think this will be fun too because I'm going to WrestleMania, so it'd be nice to see the good ones and the bad ones. Maybe after each one I watch, I'll do like a video, give it my small thoughts, and combine it into a big video. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, and we will talk to you guys later.